welcome in, everybody.
Hello, Guilders. Welcome in. This is Timbo the Wizard coming at you live. I'm super excited to bring you episode 2 of Exploits of the Golden Shadows, the Crystal Conundrum. Welcome in, everybody. Let me just do a couple quick shout outs because we got a few follows before the stream. Thank you. CBH Streams, A Car Keys, Fawn Puppet 1997, and the Enforcer for the follows. And thank you as well, Domino, for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Before we get too into everything, let's go ahead and go around and have everybody introduce themselves. I'm gonna just get Craig in here real quick. Boop.
Now recording.
Robot
There he
Overlords.
Thank you, Robot Overlords. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go around the table real quick, and so we can introduce ourselves. Let's start with Domino. Domino.
Hello, I am Domino, RBG. You can catch me streaming occasionally at twitch.tv/DominoRBG or otherwise just posting general nonsense on twitter.com/DominoRBG. And I play Cera Stormhollow.
Excellent. Perfect. Sorry, Miss. Real quick, I noticed my captions have stopped. If you just refresh the browser source, should pick right back up. But let's continue. Quickly move on. Raichkyu, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Raichkyu. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me at twitch.tv/Raichkyu playing a bunch of variety games and general chaos, and also twitter.com/Raichkyu. So TikTok with Raichkyu with just stuff of my dog. And I play Ellida. She's a wild magic sorcerer. Asmar.
Awesome. And Galaxy, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I'm Jess, Jess Galaxy on YouTube. You can find all sorts of strange things that I do on YouTube. My videos are all over the place. And then I also make content on TikTok at Galaxiebot. Galaxy is always spelled with an IE for me. And then I am playing Melu Goodsong, and I am a drow cleric.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Mystrich.
Hello, I am Mystrich. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Brennard, the Artificer. And I stream over on my own channel at twitch.tv/Mystrich. And pretty soon, my friend Werewolf and I will be restarting our show Setting the Table, where we talk about topics in TTRPGs.
Ooh.
So stay tuned for that,
man.
probably second week of February-ish.
Oh man, I'm so excited for that to be coming back. That's so good. But excellent. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in. Would anybody like to do the recap from what happened last week for an inspiration?
You're bribing us to do the recap.
Oh,
I have good notes for the first half, and then the second half, I was so invested, I stopped taking notes, so I can probably get there.
I'd say give it your best shot, Mist.
Yeah.
All right, so we were sent into the Mournland in order to look for something. We weren't entirely sure what we were looking for. We took a lightning rail to meet our contact Talon, who had a velociraptor named Fang. He was curious why we would be willing to head in there, but it's just kind of a job. It's like the old Flintstones cartoons. It's a living. He warned us that we should stick together, so we tied ourselves to like a rope, tying each of us together, and then we started wading through the mists. All of us could see different faces in there. Melu was able to make out faces that they didn't recognize because of their amnesia. But all of us saw someone from our past, someone we missed. And finally we made it through, only to end up in a forest where all of the trees and plants were made of flesh and bones. And those things seemed to come to life to attack us once we actually got to the fort we were heading to. Because to open up the door, we had to set a clock tower to a certain time, and in doing so, a bell started to chime, and everything seemed to reanimate at that point and come for us. Fang and Talon stayed behind while we jumped inside, and there we met a blob of flesh named We. We had been researching weapons and dragon shards and magical artifacts, and was a fusion of all the scientists that had worked in this lab. We asked We about the item we were seeking, and they told us that we needed to speak to Dr. Travers. Dr. Travers was part of We, but his personality was deeper, lost inside. We convinced the amalgamation to let Dr. Travers out, and we interviewed him about what the item did. And it seemed like the artifact had interacted with the Morning when they were investigating it, and that had been what fused the scientists together. When we got through into the center of the laboratory, we were able to uncover the artifact, which was a dragon shard that had been sculpted into this massive dragon statue. We decided to take it with us. However, upon actually leaving, we were ambushed by a cult looking for what we had. They seemed to instantly know that Melu was carrying the item. We put up a brief struggle to try and save our companion, Talon, but they were quick to steal the item and teleport away. We called our headquarters. Zed answered. It's Zed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why I always forget their name. So we called our handler, Zed, who is a Sphinx, and we mentioned that they got away, but we kept under wraps that Ellida had told us she might have some connections to this group of people.
Perfect. Yes, and that was where the scene came to a close. It has since been about a week or so since y'all have returned from the Morning back to Sharn, and there has been much that has occurred in this past week. We're going to go around the table and do a little bit of downtime, and then I believe there was also a scene that wanted to occur between between Ellida and Cera. So we'll make sure to highlight that as well. But who would like to go first with what they were doing during this week?
I can. Mine is, I think, maybe the most straightforward.
Okay.
So Melu would really like to go into the vast library that we have at headquarters, and see what they can find about Valinor. Which is the god that I worship for anyone in the audience.
Absolutely, yes. Why don't you go ahead and make me... Let me see. We have this lovely chart here for Xanathar. And I see research is going to be... I'm going to ignore the cost part, but go ahead and give me an intelligence roll. And like, I guess my question to you, Melu, is is there anything in particular that you're looking for, or any specific avenue of research that you are like pursuing? Is there anything in particular that like might color your research that you could think of?
I think primarily Melu is looking for who tends to worship Valinor, and if there are any established temples of Valinor anywhere that they could potentially find or go and visit. And if there aren't any currently existing temples, if there were temples somewhere previously.
Sure. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make me that intelligence roll.
Yeah. Oh, good.
4.
Cool.
Okay. So
Doing amazing.
I'm gonna say that while your research is difficult, mostly due to the fact that you find that the god Valinor is not. It doesn't seem like there are a huge amount of records regarding this deity or their followers. I would say that you get the sense almost that there is gaps in the recordings that you're looking through in the historical record that you're researching. I think you would get the feeling, even with the 4 intelligence roll, I think you would get the feeling that there maybe has been some revisionist history that has occurred that maybe has edited Balinor and the followers of Balinor maybe slightly out of the history of the world, maybe a little bit. In terms of the people that normally follow Balinor, usually it's conclaves of hunters of various natures.
Okay.
Kind of almost like Witcher-esque style characters, right? Where they're like these really top-tier hunters who would kill terrifying and fearsome creatures, right?
Okay. Well, that's something at least, even though I had
Mm-hmm.
such a low roll.
Yeah,
Um,
you definitely like you're not just sitting in the library like not learning anything. You definitely get the sense that there is knowledge to be had, but it's going to take maybe more effort and more energy in order to be able to discern what that might look like. Because if you definitely get the sense that there is something off about the way, it's like some of these some of the recollections and the tellings that you're reading feel almost like edited after the fact a little bit. Like you can tell like when something feels like it's had like sections of it maybe stripped out of it, right?
okay.
All right, great. So that's what Melu does during their downtime. Who would like to go next?
I can. So, Brennard might be an agent of the Golden Shadows by night, in a way, but by day he does still work in a workshop. So I'd like to roll for his career and just make some money.
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and let's see. What was that? What was that? It was just. I believe we were just deciding this was just straight work, right?
Yeah, I think it's a intelligence check.
Yeah, intelligence plus tools if you have any special modifiers for that. So yeah, just go and make that roll.
All right. So that will be a 13 with my proficiency bonus.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So with a 13, I'm gonna say, yeah, you spend your week or so building, and maybe there's some project at the foundry that you're working on, and you work to fruition. What do you? Oh, I know. There's a new. I feel like maybe there's like a repair job that gets brought down to you, unless you have something specific in mind. Do you have something specific?
I definitely think with the way my canon works and like kind of, I think Brennard specializes probably in like staffs and wands, so maybe it's like a so I think maybe it was a like maybe a duel of some kind, like between wizards, like some formal duel where one's wand was broken and Brennard is now repairing that, some like very high end, intricately detailed like artisanal wand.
Okay. No, I love that. Great. Yeah. So you repair it up and you do a beautiful job. Over the course of this week, the maker is incredibly happy, and they leave a glowing review with what was the name of of your mentor, the woman who took you under her wing?
Jatoba
they brought you-
Decaneth.
Jatoba. Decaneth. Perfect. Excellent. So it's during one of these days of the week. Brennard, that Jatoba calls you into her office, and you see her there. She is working on what appears to be like a large spherical piece of crystal that like she's kind of tinkering with, like the runes etched under it and into the base where it sits. As you come on in, and as you enter in, she gives you a nod. And she'll motion to a chair and like beside her desk as she continues to work.
All right. I'll take a seat down.
She'll continue working on the crystal ball for a moment. In fact, maybe a perception check as she does so.
Sure. And perception.
4. Okay. So
I'm not good at perception.
So you're sitting there, just waiting for Jatoba to finish up, and you're kind of I'm almost saying maybe not like dazing out, but like you're just kind of like thinking about something. You probably were thinking about the part of the repair job of the wand that you're on, and you're kind of like you're just kind of thinking, and like looking at a spot on the horizon, which just so happens to be the crystal ball, and in that moment, like there's a flash as a spark goes up from Jatoba doing something to the ball. And for just a moment, even like with your not paying attention, with your eyes kind of glazed over, you see the flicker of something, like a shadow, move across the inside of the crystal ball. And it's just for a moment, at which point Jatoba stands up and she grabs a grease cloth, and she wipes the crystal chunks from her hands, the little crystalline shards, and before going and sitting behind the desk and looking at you, and she'll go, "So how was the outing with the shadows?"
So question, do I know that she knows that I'm part of the shadows?
Yeah, she would have been your introductory point to
Okay.
the shadows. She works for the shadows too. Yeah.
It was definitely not the best experience, but first time into the Mornland, I not a place I'd go back to.
Can't say I blame you. Last time I was in a place like that, well, and in that place, well, and she'll gesture to she'll kind of gesture to her foot, and that she has a prosthetic leg, and she'll go, I find it commendable that you would want to, or you would be willing to go in there. Orders be damned.
Yeah, well, I do owe a lot to you and the shadows at this point, so I'm not exactly gonna turn tail and run.
She'll look at you in the eye and say, "No one deserves your life, Brennard. I thought if anything, I would have taught you that. No one deserves. You don't owe that to anyone. You know that, right?"
No, of course. And look, we made it out alive, and we didn't lose anyone. But let me tell you, that Talon, he's stubborn.
Yeah, I know that Talon well. Back when I was in your position, and she almost catches herself as she almost begins to get a little sentimental, and she'll go, "Well, that's a story for another time. I'm just glad to see you're in one piece, after such an excursion into such nastiness."
So, what have you got your hands full with? And he kind of looks towards the crystal she was working on.
Oh, it's one of those new, and she kind of does that motion with her hand where she's thinking, trying to figure out it's one of those new crystal dream show things from that new fancy. It's one of those CEs, right? And she'll pull up a little a remote almost from the desk, and she'll activate it, and she'll hit a button on it, and the crystal ball will flick on, and it will be basically like a television program, and and it will be basically whatever would be a fantasy daytime talk television show would be on the screen. And she said, somebody asked me a favor to take a look, because they said that there's something wrong with the picture, that it keeps getting staticky at random points. I don't know.
Well, if anyone can figure it out, it's you.
I hope so. This newfangled crystal tech with the I don't know. It's kind of, I don't like it, but maybe I'm just an old soul. But anyways, I know you've got your wand that you've got to be working on.
All right, I'll get back to work. Don't overwork yourself.
And she goes, I could say the same to you, and she'll give you like a laughing nod as you leave the room. Beautiful. All right, excellent. Fantastic. And then you spend your week doing the finishing up the wand. It's beautiful work, and your name grows in esteem as the word of your repair job gets around town a little bit. Excellent. And Raichkyu, or sorry, Cera and Ellida, which of you two would like to go next for the downtime?
I can go.
All right, perfect.
So Cera is going to spend her week doing research into other organizations that are similar to the Golden Shadow, so possibly other cults. Just trying to get a general feel of like who we may be dealing with, right?
So are you trying to look for specifically groups that like secret societies like the Golden Shadows, or more specific information about this new group that you've just interacted with?
Well, typically the research would come after her interaction with Ellida. Because
Okay, we
Ellida
can do
could
that scene first if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, because Ellida would actually be able to tell her about the cult.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
Okay, great. Do we want to just dive into that scene then?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, great. So it's a random day. It's maybe Tuesday on that week, and of downtime, and we find Ellida and Cera having a lovely chat at a cute little tea house in Sharn called the Smiling Hydra. And y'all have found yourself there. There's like a nice little band going on in the background, and y'all are hanging out, having a drink or two, having this little discussion. Do go on.
Yes. So, Sarah's, she's bought them both some tea, also just like a bottle of wine, maybe for herself, who knows. And then, of course, there's just assorted snacks on the table, little finger sandwiches, little finger cakes, things like that. And so she takes a sip of her tea and sets it down on the saucer and decides that it just needs one more sugar cube in it, and just goes ahead and drops that in there and starts to stir it. And while she looks at Ellida and she goes, on our last mission, I noticed that that terrible brute, Brother Bobby, was there again, and I remember your first reaction to him.
Oh.
Why does
Yeah.
he scare you so much?
She nervously starts like. Well, I think while Sarah was putting the sugar cube in her tea, Ellida just started stuffing some finger foods in her mouth so she doesn't finish and eat them. It's like, it's I mean, where do you wanna start? There's a. I wouldn't say I'm scared per se. I just maybe know more of what. And she pauses. She's like, I may have pissed him off a little bit. And by may I mean I definitely did.
Cera takes another sip of her tea, sets it back down on the saucer. So, what group were you a part of, and why are they pissed off with you?
Well, she takes a deep breath. She's like, well, you see, that guy that we ran into, I don't know all of them. I just know one. I just know him. So I am confused as to why he is with this group of people. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, so I'm not sure what transpired. The others I don't know anything about, but he was... And she pauses for a moment, just trying to find the words. He was, okay, so I grew up in this group of people called the Order of the Perfect Peace, okay? And Brother Bobby was one of those people that I would see all the time. That's how I know him.
Well, it seems like there's some more than a few details that you're leaving out about the Order of the Perfect Peace.
Well, what do you want to know about them?
Well, number one, that's an interesting name. What does perfect peace mean to them?
Well, their main mission, basically, I guess what we did when I was growing up and everything, was we'd go to different towns or cities or people that like had just experienced some kind of recent horrific disaster, like floods, like fires, stuff like that, and we'd show up and they'd kind of put my face on like helping them, so they would, I guess, be defined by me, I guess. But they would just travel a lot.
So, let me get this straight. You were a part of a humanitarian aid group that turned into a cult for your visage?
I don't really know what you call something like that, honestly. It was based in a religious kind of deal. I think I studied a lot of religious texts when I was growing up, but basically, like, I've been there as long as I could remember until I left 2 years ago, and they just... She's just like fiddling with, like the finger foods and kind of like tearing them apart like absentmindedly. Yeah, they would. Well, I would, I guess, be kind of separated from everybody else, and just kind of just come along with them when we would help them, these cities, recover, but they would try to say that they were helping people, but I found out later that that's not what they were doing. Much later. Way too late, probably.
And what was it that they were doing?
Well, I had seen... She like pauses because she's like, there's just so much that happens. She shakes her head. She's like, well, so I'd been involved in this for a long time, and someone had joined our group that I became close with. She told me that it was very strange how all these disasters would happen in all these places that we'd go. And then we would just be there in the nick of time, like it was some divine intervention, and like I was the divine intervention. And it got me thinking about that, but then after we became very close, she suddenly disappeared, and no one would ever answer my questions about what happened to her. And so I ended up wandering one night, and I saw that we were planning to go to a town. And nothing had happened yet, but I saw Brother Bobby. He didn't know I was there, but I saw him dismantling a dam to flood the entire town at the same time that we were about to visit. So that's when I knew I had to leave. And that's when I left.
See, I, I'm so sorry. That's incredibly hard, and it really must weigh a lot on your mind.
Uh, maybe a little, maybe. But she just like shakes her head again. I don't really know, but
Was
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Uh, was there anything else that happened? Because I can't help but notice that you're still very nervous, maybe shaken, and it's completely natural to be.
Yeah, I guess I just really, when I came here with the golden shadows and everything, I was just kind of hoping it would all kind of go away, and it did not. So, I was hoping for a new start and for them to not be able to use me as a like a, I don't know, some kind of something that I'm not, like they've been doing. But now it's come back, and I have blinded Brother Bobby, and from our last encounter, but somehow he still knew I was there, so I have no idea what that's about either.
Do you think that they may be using some kind of scrying magic on you?
I don't know. Maybe. I guess that would make sense. But I don't know why they wouldn't have found me sooner.
I mean, I agree. If you're so important to this group's cause, then I would have figured that as soon as you had left, they would have tried to find you. But it seems like they've either been taking their time or they're not after you at all.
Well, she pauses again and just kind of sips on her tea for a second. So when I left, that's when that's when the morning happened. So I don't think I'm something good and important to them anymore. I think I might be the bad guy.
Arlen, are you telling me that you think you may have caused the morning?
I mean, if you put two and two together, the same day I left, that all happened.
That's not putting two and two together. That's very coincidental.
They thought I was gonna end it. They thought I was the key to ending it. Ending the war. But that's what they told everyone. That's what everybody said about me growing up, that I would be the one to end the war, this really long war. And I did, I guess, when I left, because it technically ended the war.
Cera just reaches over and takes both of Ellida's hands into both of hers, and she looks her directly in the eyes and she goes, "Honey, putting something like the mourning completely on your own shoulders is a very terrible, terrible burden. No one knows what caused the mourning. You can't possibly blame yourself for that. And it was also unfair for these folks to fill your head with notions of you single-handedly ending a war. That's not how war works. And you shouldn't blame yourself for that either."
He just kind of lets Cera hold her hands and just like nods, but doesn't say anything.
That being said, we will find out who the identity of this organization, And we will also find out why Brother Bobby is with them. I can't promise you everything, but I will promise you as much closure as I can.
And you know I'm on your side, right? Like whatever you guys need, like I'll do whatever I can to make sure this gets taken care of.
And with that, Cera lets go of her hands and she sits back in a chair, pours herself a glass of wine, and with a slight smile as she brings her wine glass to her lips, she goes, "Oh, honey, I never doubted your loyalty for a second."
Oh.
Beautiful, excellent. And then I feel like we kind of like we fade out of the window of the tea shop. And beautiful. All right, great. So with this new information, Sarah, what for your research into what focus are you going to take? Are you going to go for more for the cult and finding out more about this new this group, or are you going to research some other aspect of it? What were you thinking?
We are going to research this cult. We're going to research
Oh, beautiful. I just want to say thank you so much, The Compound, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for all the follows and stuff. Appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry, say that again one more time for me.
Not a problem. I was saying that we are going to research the Church of Perfect Peace. We're definitely
Perfect.
going to
Excellent.
investigate this cult.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So go ahead and make me either a religion check or a investigation check. Your call. Your decision.
Okie dokie. We will go with investigation.
13. Okay. So with the resources of the Golden Shadows, you spend the remaining time after your. I would assume that you probably maybe not on a Fantasy Tuesday, probably a little sooner to like after you would have had the investigation, your previous investigation. I would guess simply due to your burning curiosity. So you spend the rest of that week looking into the Order of the Perfect Day. Or the Order of the Perfect Peace, rather. Sorry, and it's interesting. There, you are able to rustle up some information. One fact that really piques your interest is that this order, they're not new. Actually, they are several hundred years old. Seemingly, they predate the First War. However, it appears you're also able to dig up in your investigation that before Ellida had joined the church, it seems that it had been co-opted by somebody else. It seems like somebody came in around maybe 50 or so years ago and kind of became a power player within the church and kind of became and became their leader, their de facto head almost. And that was about the time when they started moving about the country as well, moving around Corvair and performing miracles. And just looking through the list of things that they did, they cured plagues. They aided people after wildfires had occurred, after earthquakes had occurred. And it's only in the past I would say like 20 or so years that Ellida's face has really become really a fixture of that movement. And and it's pretty easy for you to find information that coincides with what Ellida says, like, oh yeah, that is definitely the girl on all those pictures and all those posters that you've probably seen at some point in your life, but like it's very the posters themselves are in like a very classic like French Renaissance style like kind of look. They're very like artistic. So it's like almost like an artistic interpretation of Ellida, but like almost like looking at them like next to each other, you could definitely see that it's for sure Ellida, like absolutely. And I would also say the last piece of information that you find is that on the day of the morning, a schism occurred in the order, and the man who had come in 50 years ago, I believe Ellida. It was his name was Galadriel, correct?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was Galadriel. That Galadriel, the the schism that had occurred, Galadriel was only able to hold on to a specific, a very small section of the sect, and it seems like they divided. But that's kind of where your research comes to an end. You kind of can't figure out where the rest of these members of this church went.
Okay. Good info though.
Excellent. Alrighty. And last but certainly not least, Alita, what do you do with your downtime?
So Ellida is going to be practicing um her magic pretty consistently for that week. Most
Uh-huh.
specifically trying to, like, what Sarah had said last time about her her wild magic surges possibly getting in the way. She attempts to try to create the times where that happens, um so she can kind of see if she can control it better, or see if there's like a workaround, like her own experiments with her own abilities to see if she can recreate them, um and can
Sure.
do anything with them.
No, yeah, awesome. No, that sounds great. So like I'm almost imagining you're going through like stress training where you're putting yourself in
Yes.
incredibly difficult situations. Like you've got a spider, like you've got a spider in like a jar or something, and you're like
Yeah.
looking at it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just a straight D20 roll, and we'll see how successful you are in general.
All right. Oh, got 12.
12. Okay. So I'm gonna say that go ahead and roll me a D100. 91. Okay. So I'm gonna say that over the course, I'm just seeing what it is that you just rolled. Over the course of your time, you spend it pushing through pushing through finding like these difficult scenarios, like almost like magical strength training, shall we say.
Yeah.
And um as your what do you think would be the inciting incident that would set the wild magic surge off?
Um, like the one that happens during this time.
No, like what? Yeah. What would have been the thing that like activated it? The thing that prompted your wild magic to energize. That's probably not the right word, but I'm gonna say it. Energize.
I think that with Alita, it's actually like really random. So like, there's nothing that you can really trace that
Okay.
happens, but it tends to probably come up when either she's stressed or um or tired or
Okay. I love it. So it's been a long day of training. It's the final day of the week, and you've just had no luck. You've not been able to get a single surge to occur. And you go out to your favorite tea bar, your favorite boba bar that they have in Sharn, because that's definitely a thing. It is now. And you go get your favorite boba, and they're out of your desired flavor, whatever flavor that may be. What's Alita's favorite flavor of milk tea?
probably some kind of strawberry
Mm.
melon.
Yeah, so they're out of delicious strawberry melon ice milk tea, and like before you can like it's just like the icing on the cake, the straw that broke the camel's back. And like as you're like about to like walk away from the bar, you feel so Alita has feathers that kind of like emerge from her skin, right?
Yeah.
You feel a wind on your feathers that you don't feel on the rest of your flesh. And it's almost like going in an upwards direction. And you feel like this kind of almost energy build around you and then suddenly disperse out like as a large gust of wind comes and blows on these feathers emanating out of your body. And you feel like nothing has happened other than this until you look around in your surrounding area and you realize that things in about a 20-foot radius surrounding you have started to float upwards, and they start floating up into the sky.
Oh god.
And so it's small things at first, right? So it's like a random drink, a random patron's like boba drink like goes up into the air, like straws and stuff, and then it's a chair that floats up into the air, and then it's a person that goes, and then it's the table that they were sitting at with the lawn with the umbrella. It flies up into the air, and there's an air taxi that comes by and smashes into it, and like somebody goes like flying, but they're still just everybody's still just rising up into the air or like around you. What does Ellida do?
I'm still building that's like floating up. Am I floating up?
No, you're on the ground still. Everything else is floating except you.
She's just gonna go like she's gonna run around going, no, come back, no. And she's gonna try to like pull everything. If she can grab anything, she's just gonna like try to reach for like a chair or person or something and try to pull it back down.
Sure, yeah. So you reach for like somebody, and like you manage to grab like onto their like their calf as they're pulling
Yeah.
up, and you grab onto it, and you're like pulling the person down, and then suddenly you realize that you're not strong enough, and it begins to pull you up off the ground too.
Oh no. Oh
Do you
no.
do you hold on?
Yeah. No,
All
no.
right. All right, so you take off with the man rising higher up into the Sharn. There are a couple other people caught in this anti-gravity field as well as a few tables and chairs, a couple of drinks that are like spinning. The water or the tea that has spilled out of them is not plummeting to the ground, but it's instead like amassing into like balls of tea in the air as it's like floating up, like how it does in zero gravity. And you keep ascending. So Sharn is a very large metropolitan fantasy city, which has multiple levels associated with it, as well as literally buildings on clouds up in the sky that are being held aloft by air elementals. So there's luckily for all the places this could have occurred, you're probably in one of the best places as you continue to float up ascending levels, but like always somewhat close within range of like a platform that you can drop down. This lasts for about a minute or so as you float up until you begin to feel your ascent slowing. Do you do anything in this moment?
So is so is it like the building and everything inside of it just rising? Or
Not the
like
building, just mostly kind of like things that weren't necessarily like affixed to the ground.
okay, okay. Uh how high up are we right now?
So you're probably like 100 or so feet up at least, but there you see definitely like maybe about like 10 feet or so beneath you. You see like there's a walkway that you could potentially like swing to.
Okay, okay. Can I just try to can I try to like swing with this person over in that
Yeah.
direction and try to get everybody else to like kind of pretend like they're swimming in that direction? I have no idea how.
Sure, yeah. So
Astronaut style.
you begin to just coach everybody and just say everybody starts swinging in that direction, and they start listening to you. You manage to pull yourself over to be directly above the sky bridge and drop just in time as your the anti-grav field cuts completely and you just drop plummeting 10 feet to the ground. It hurts a little bit. You would take damage, but we're not going to bother. You would take a little bit of damage from this, and you would bring the individual that you had been holding on to with you. However, the other folks who were suspended above the gap, they just plummet, completely falling down. And Alita looks over the ledge as they're like falling like potentially like hundreds of feet down to what could be a grisly death, when you see out of like a building, like a window opens up, and casting out a magic, you see like a bolt of energy fly and ensorcel the people falling, and they begin like feathers slowly to float to the ground, and you see that they've been caught by a featherfall spell by a local mage right, whose literally only job is to catch people when they fall off of the city. They have good infrastructure in this place. They recognize that people will probably fall at some point.
Oh my god. Oh my
um,
god.
so Ellida experiences that and survives it. I'm not sure whether or not you would consider that to have more control over your wild magic, but
Definitely not. But she'll just be like, thanks, sorry, gotta go, and just leave. Try to get
then
down to
just
the
runs.
ground again.
Perfect. Amazing.
Incredible.
All right. Excellent. So with that, let's go ahead and with all the downtime taken care of, let's go in and dive on in. So it's been a week since y'all have returned from the morning. Y'all have had your various mini adventures, and when y'all get notifications on your Golden Shadows pins that there is a mission, I almost feel like maybe it glows, or like heats up a little bit, so to make you aware. And so we cut to the interior of the Golden Shadows headquarters inside the clock tower, and Zed the Sphinx is there waiting for you all with a folio. And she, as y'all enter, she's got her like glasses on, and is going over the documentation as y'all sit, before peering down at y'all, saying, "We have another hit, something similar to what you were dealing with last time. We have a verifiable source that says, or a reputable source, shall I say, that claims he knows where another idol might be. We have reason to believe that these people who stole the first idol may, in fact, be looking for others. So we think it's in our best interest to get them before they do. However," and she'll like snap the folio shut, "this individual, he is making it incredibly difficult. And while he has agreed to help us, he has also refused to do so until we help him. A little quid pro quo is what he's calling it. So to that end, we would like to have you all assist him, since there is obviously history with this artifact."
Oh, of course. Send us out again.
Yeah, I guess it's best
Well-
if we get there first.
So
Will
do
the
we
Golden
think it's going to
Shadows-
be the same general artifact? Are they related somehow?
We put out feelers for more large dragon shards that had been carved, dragon shards that had been carved into the idol-like form. This was what came back to us a little bit. It sounds like he hasn't gone into a huge amount of detail, but it sounds potentially like it could be another idol, like what you had seen, in the same carving method. But specifics are unclear at this time.
And do we have any more information on our adversaries? I find it extremely worrying that the Golden Shadows know absolutely nothing of an organization that has the same wants and whims as them.
Yeah, and whether or not they might be there when we arrive this time.
I mean, for
No, yes,
shame's sake, just sending us out into the world. No information, just cold, naked as the day we were born. Truly terrible.
That will affix you with a steely gaze, Cera.
She
Before-
gives that a cheeky smile.
I mean, I know you
Before
forgot
answering-
armor last time, but we were all pretty clothed.
First of all, I was in my business cat suit. Second of all,
Why were you in your business cat suit? What, you
I
have
thought
multiple
we were going
cat
on a
suits?
deployment. Yes. Why wouldn't I have multiple cat suits?
I don't
He
think
does
I
have
even have
multiple
one.
cat suits.
I don't think I have. I mean, okay. I think I only
Second
have one set
of
of
all-
clothes.
Oh, Melu, darling, no, we have to.
I wash them.
We will fix this once we're done with this mission.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, it's a saying, Brennard.
Yes. Well, if you all are done talking about fashion, we can continue the debrief. Yes. We are currently we're currently tracking a couple of key members of the Cult of the Marked. That's what they're calling themselves. The individuals that had managed to best you all in the last encounter.
Oh, how on the nose.
Also, I just want to
And,
I just want to clarify from my notes. Cult of the Mark, M-A-R-K.
Marked, yeah, with an ed at the end.
Okay.
And like you definitely get the feeling that was pointed towards you. And Zed will go. We're still following up on leads, but I will keep you abreast of the situation as new information comes to light as much as I can, naturally. But until then, I think that I know that your best option is to assist this Zachariah Trap, and she'll put forward like a little folio with his information. Large percentage of it has been redacted. It seems like he worked for Redacted Place before Redacted occurred, and now he is a private investigator working in the mid to lower edge of Sharn, doing odd jobs and stuff there. And Zed will go meet with him and see what he wants, get it done quick, and maybe we'll be ahead of the curve for once.
Did you say his last name is Trap?
Trap, yes. T-R-A-P.
T-R-A-P, like a
Yes,
Yes.
like a
Then
trap.
Like a trap.
you're sending us to meet someone named Trap. You know this person, right?
Yes.
why would
His name is. It's a pseudonym. He chose it himself. He likes theatrics. Don't.
Either he likes
I am no one.
theatrics or he loves to just absolutely, completely signal what's going to happen. Either way, I really do appreciate this black bar poetry you got me, Zed. And Sarah's just like flipping through this folio, and it's just like, it's almost unintelligible.
Yes. Well, you know how the higher ups of the shadows, and she'll kind of roll her eyes a little bit, as if she's almost a little tired of the bureaucracy as well. But anyways, it's not my place. I simply dole out the missions. And speaking of, you have yours. Zachariah, he's got most of the intel of what the assignment will actually entail. But best of luck.
Thank you.
Perfect. So, sorry, did anybody else want to do anything else in that scene?
No. not
Nope,
on
I'm
mine.
good.
Groovy. So y'all head on off to Trap's office down in the lower level Sharns. And as y'all head on out, y'all are heading out into Sharn itself. It's very eclectic. There's all kinds of people heading to and fro. It's like basically almost like fantasy New York City, except with even more verticality to it, if you can even believe it. So there's just all kinds of folks all over the place as y'all head on out to over to Trap's firm. It's just like a little, literally like hole in the wall type place. Walking in, it's a very cramped, like half domicile, half office. And you see on the door is are the words Trap and Blunt, private investigators.
Are we really just going to meet this person that we have never met, whose name is Trap?
Sarah pinches the bridge of her nose. Yes, we are.
All right.
Well, at least they'll be blunt, maybe.
No, I think that's just his name.
Oh, I can't deal with any of you.
But
Let's
it's
go.
Okay.
So you all knock on the door, and there's no answer.
Of course not.
Cera is going to put a little bit more mustard behind her knock this time.
Excuse me, is
Uh,
anyone there?
There is no response. I think Sarah, who may be closest to the door, potentially hears loud snoring emanating from within.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Is it even locked?
She tries the handle.
It's open.
I was gonna say it's a business, and we're here during business hours, and we're expected. We can go in, right?
I think so.
He waltzes right on in.
Yeah. Entering in, it's just a cluttered kind of half domicile. The front kind of section is a little bit of an office space, while like behind like a folding panel, you can see like clearly is like a little living area of what is obviously a bachelor living back there, because it's clearly a mess. And seated at his desk, head down, asleep with like just a bottle next to him, you find Zachariah. Pass the fuck out.
Cera is going to walk over to the desk and she's going to pick up the bottle and inspect it.
It's hard grain alcohol.
What's the quality of it?
Middling.
She just kind of like sniffs it and ugh.
For the fun
I think,
of it.
I think Sarah would not enjoy it, but it's, it's get the job done shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. She's ugh.
For the
But
fun of
she-
it,
Oh, go ahead.
as Sarah is doing this, sorry, Melu is gonna use Eyes of the Grave, so their eyes flash and go completely white, and they just, just make sure there's nothing undead within 60 feet of here. Just checking.
Yeah, no, there is you get no hint of undead in this very shabby
Good.
office / apartment.
Sarah places the bottle back on Mr. Trap's desk with a pretty loud thud and just clears her throat.
Yeah, the thud jars him awake, and he goes, "Whoa, oh, sure, ooh, you woke me up." And you see him shake like the sleep from his head. Yo, who are you? Oh, you must be. And then, does anybody have the golden shadows pin, like obviously displayed?
Yeah, Brennard would definitely have it on his collar when they're doing official business, or probably his apron.
His eyes locked to that, and he goes, "Oh, you must be, yo, Zed sent y'all, right? Yeah, that must be it." And he'll go to grab for the jug of grain alcohol and take a swig, like a long swig, like a long hard swig. And as he is drinking in front of you, in from behind, from the door, you hear the door open once more, and behind y'all, you'll see a slight elven woman enter into the room, and she goes, "Oh God, you can't let him drink that shit. He'll be fucked up all day. Give me that." And she'll just like push through the throng of y'all to just like grab a bottle out of his hands, and he'll go for it like a baby. And she's like, "No, I've had enough. You gotta sober up. We got a job to do." And he's like, "But," and he's like, and she goes, "No," and he goes, and he looks sad, and she'll roll her eyes, and she'll go, "Hello, Amelia Blunt," and she'll put her hand forward, and that guy's. That's my partner. That's Zachariah.
I
Is
never
she
would've
undead?
guessed that this was blunt.
No, she's an elf.
Just checking.
Alita's just gonna look with admiration at Amelia. Like, wow.
Yeah, she's got badass bitch energy, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. Sorry for this guy's state. He he hits the bottle pretty hard, even when we're supposed to be on a job, and he'll grumble to himself about something. He says it under his breath, and he can't. Nobody catches it, and Emily will go, "What was that?" And he'll go, "Nothing, nothing." And he'll like get up, and you see him like maybe head off into like his like back room. You maybe hear him go into like the bathroom, and he starts to freshen up a little bit. And Amelia will go, "So Zed, you all must be the shadows that Zed sent. Zed sent. Am I right?"
Yeah, that's
that
us.
would be
Yep.
us.
Hmm. She'll take stock of you all for a moment and say, "Well, I'm hoping that you'll be able to help us with this because we've been a little stumped for a little while. Maybe y'all's will be able to give us a hand."
I'm
Well,
stumped.
what exactly are we giving you a hand with, and why does it have you so stumped? You seem competent enough.
Well, thank you. I appreciate seeming competent. Well, it seems there's been as private investigators, there's cases that people come and ask us about, and there's just weird happenings in Sharn and that we investigate. This is one of the latter. I'll say there have been strange deaths that have been occurring around the city. At this point, like Zachariah will come back and he's like, you don't know how he did it so fast, but he's actually cleaned up, and he looks a little bit more sober, and he'll go, yes, strange deaths. It seems very very odd. People are dying in their houses. Brutal, nasty deaths, but there will be
Oh.
no sign of forced entry.
Perhaps they
Well,
pissed off their spouses.
All of the victims have been single individuals. Actually, they were all home alone, and most of them were reported missing. And when the guardsmen came to check on them in their houses, they were dead.
You think it was magic?
Amelia and Zachariah will exchange a look, and they'll say, magic doesn't do the kind of damage that we've been seeing. Magic will burn or cauterize or shock. This is trauma. Hard trauma.
Um, like, are
Perhaps
they?
everyone was far too trusting and just let these people into their homes.
But the doors were locked. Several of these doors were locked from the inside.
What
Plenty of windows around here.
did they? Were they? So they were all the same, like affected the same way. Like were they all murdered the same way? Like what did they? What did they look like?
They were all found basically eviscerated, torn apart in their houses.
Oh,
And like I said, no sign of forced entry. The windows were untampered with. The doors were locked from the inside. It's a little bit. I mean, there's a reason why we've asked Zed for your help.
you think they could?
Does it look
Like it came from
more?
inside, or
Sorry, say that again, Ellida.
do you think it came from like inside them, or they did it to themselves, like something like that?
I don't think you could eviscerate yourself. That seems
The amount.
extreme.
seems highly unlikely.
Yes, he's got it in one. The artificer. The amount of damage that was done is not something that you could do to yourself.
I think that more.
It
of
might
the
be best
questions-
to show you the crime scenes themselves. There's only so much. We have not pictures, but we also could go to the morgue as well if you would like to see the bodies. We have a few strings that we can pull in that regard as well.
That's exactly what I was about to suggest. I guess we're private eyes now.
I guess so.
Just so I know, because I don't think I'll be able to tell from the body anyway. But can we? Does it look more like a weapon? Does it look more like a creature, animal?
It definitely looks animal-esque. Like the type of damage done, it almost appears to be. It's interesting because each one it definitely appears to be have been dealt like via organic damage, like claws or teeth or something like that. But each one is different as well. It's maybe it would be best to show you. Let's head off to the morgue. Or would you prefer to see the first crime scene? That's absolutely your call. We're a little stumped over here, so maybe fresh eyes will be able to help us.
I'd say let us take a look at the body first, then we can go to the crime scene.
Agreed.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just gonna agree with them.
Perfect. All right, let's head out then, and then and y'all will exit the premises. Sakurai will lock up behind him. And y'all will head out into Sharn once more. Hold on, I get some good music for this. Y'all head out into Sharn once more. The tone of the city has almost changed a little bit.
Your stream is down
as
in
Oh wait,
Discord,
what?
Timbo.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant the stream. I was like very
No,
worried
no,
for a
in-
second. I was like,
in
what?
Discord.
All of us
Yeah,
Your
panicked.
stream is
that
just fine.
There you go. That should be working.
Thank you.
So y'all head out once more into Sharn, and with this new information, the vibe of the city has almost changed a little bit. It feels a little bit more oppressive. Y'all are walking through the city streets, and even just the folks going about their normal business, they almost appear like malicious and intent. Y'all walk past a large display selling like the newest crystal ball sets, right? And you see maybe a headline in the news report that's going on them that's like talking about mysterious murder sweep the city in a panic. Investigator police say that there's no danger and that and everybody's safe. As it'll continue going. Before eventually making your way to the city morgue. As y'all enter, like Sakurai, he pulls the person at the desk aside and begins to have like a hushed conversation with them as Amelia just like continues walking. Like they've clearly done this before and they clearly have like a routine, and y'all just follow her into the back. And before you know it, in front of you are 3 different corpses. They are barely recognizable as human forms. They have been so thoroughly eviscerated and torn apart. If anybody wants to make more in-depth checks, feel free to make medicine rolls. Unless you have some other concept of what you want to do in the moment.
We'll also roll medicine.
Oh, why?
But initially, Cera is going to ask Melu, "Hey, Melu.
Yes.
Melu, what do you see?"
Oh, are you asking about my thing?
I'm asking, does anything stand out to you other than just the brutality of the injuries inflicted upon these bodies? Does anything stand out to you?
Does anything in particular stand out to Melu?
I would
It's like-
say that to Melu, I think the thing that stands out the most about the attack is the intense, visceral nature of it. You know, this wasn't. Like Melu, as somebody who has studied like animals and the hunting of animals, you recognize when something is overkill, and this is very, very clearly overkill, right?
Okay. Yeah, Melu will kind of look at Cera and be like, it kind of feels like whatever did this didn't stop once they were dead. It just kind of kept going. Or maybe it was so intense all at once that it just seems like it kept going, you know?
And what can Cera tell?
Yeah. So before we get into that natural 20 crit success from Cera, I do also want to remind my lovely players that at any time in the game, if you want, you can do a flashback to give yourself inspiration in the moment just by saying, hey, in my past, this is something that's relevant to the moment right now, and just to have a fun little world building moment, and you can give yourself inspiration for that. But with Cera's natural 20, total 23 medicine check, you can tell that these bodies were torn apart in different ways. So one of the bodies was torn apart via claws. It looks like they were just like ripped apart, the lacerations on them. Another body you can tell was torn apart via teeth. Like it looks like whatever it was bit and ripped it apart with some kind of large, potentially canine jaw. And then the third one, it stumps you for a minute, and then you realize that this body, it looks like it was squeezed by almost like a giant snake or something constricted the third and final body, and that was the cause of death. It was in a more visceral than normal way. Like the amount of pressure that it would have taken that you're seeing here is greater than any animal strength that you can think of.
And with that, Cera is like, yeah, but what about just the injuries that each of these bodies have like endured? Like, look at this one. It almost looks like it's been constricted, and for lack of a better term, the body popped.
Cool. Melu will kind of get in close and start like looking at the areas that Cera is pointing out. You're like, yeah, that is very strange, isn't it? And try and get like a closer look, kind of poke at it a little bit.
Wow, Cera, you're kind of an expert in this stuff, huh?
I've seen a couple things.
Where are you from? That there's snake, or well, I don't know, constriction. Snakes constrict things, right?
Snakes do constrict things, yes.
Snakes do constrict things.
Would this be an appropriate place to use animal handling?
Well, I was actually about to ask, Melu has spent a lot of time out in the woods doing just various hunting things in general. Can they think of anything that might be able to create this amount of force? Like, obviously a small snake couldn't have done this.
I would say that Melu probably can't think of anything that would do this level of damage in all three contexts. Like, because most of the like, if there was a wild animal like you had noted before, it would have stopped at some point. But the bodies are just completely eviscerated to the point of, you know, like closed casket ceremonies.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't. I would definitely get the sense that I definitely think that Melu gets the sense that it's not natural.
Okay. Interesting. Melu will recount that to the group, saying that I don't think this is natural. I don't think this was like a snake. You know, a snake would have stopped once the thing stopped wiggling. It wouldn't have gone until it popped.
I know they said it wasn't magic, and with that, Brennard will pull out his wand and try to use detect magic just to see. I don't think it'll get me anything, but can't hurt to try.
Never hurt to try.
Definitely not.
Make me an investigation roll.
Sure. Investigation. There it is. That is a 23.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. I think that with the 23 and the wand assisting you, you hover the wand over the first corpse, the one that appears to have been ripped apart by claws. And there's no magic, there's no reaction at first. And then you start to get like a little bit like maybe more in depth, like a little closer. And as you're like kind of maybe not prodding through the viscera, but as you're kind of investigating it in a little bit more in depth, the wand flares very briefly, and almost like you're following a like a hot cold kind of thing with the wand. You kind of uncover, buried in the body, there is like a thin claw that is jet black and radiates magical energy.
Brennard definitely going like, ooh, 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 is gonna kind of like pull it out.
Melu's like, they're just dead.
As you pull the nail from the flesh, you're holding it for about half a second, and it dematerializes and turns not to ash, but almost to like stardust. It's gone in a glimmer. And the magic, the wand of magic detection blinks off.
There was something there, right? I didn't see that, right? Or I
No,
did see it, but not
absolutely.
like see it.
No, absolutely. Would we be able to roll like Arcana check to maybe see what kind of school of magic?
Oh,
Is that
doesn't the
playing
wand
it?
of magic detection tell you?
I believe so, because it lets me cast detect magic, which I think does tell me.
It does. Hold
Yeah.
on. I can...
Give us the deeds.
Yeah. Perfect. So you would have seen that it was conjuration magic.
Okay. Operation magic.
Would I be
Interesting.
able to do a test to see if it has any religious attributes, like with the past idol?
Sure. Yeah. Go in and make me just a general religious check to see like whether or not there's anything, this sparks anything in your mind. Absolutely. 15. I would say that that nothing really comes to mind to you. The visceral, like the visceral nature of the attacks could be religious in a sense, but the fact that they were all killed in different ways, in like vastly different ways, nothing really comes to mind for you. Like if they had all been killed in a similar way, then you might be able to have some. You might be able to have a lead on that regard, but their deaths are so different. Nothing springs to mind. I would also get the sense that you probably feel like this is unrelated to the dragon idol.
Okay.
Can I? This might be a stretch. Can I like make a survival check to see, like, I don't know, like how quickly this would have happened or something like that?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Does
Make
survival
me
make
the roll.
sense? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Or medicine, your call.
That was
19 survival.
Much better.
I would say that this happened in. I mean, I'm gonna give you metagame knowledge. I'm gonna say that you probably recognize that this happened in at most 2 rounds.
Okay. For like 12 seconds. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep, about 12 seconds. Like the way that the flesh is torn and ripped asunder, you definitely get the sense that this was a bloody and fast death.
Well, better fast than long and drawn out, I guess. Maybe we should see the crime scene now.
Well, who are the bodies? Is there a connection between them?
Amelia will chime in and she'll say, "We weren't able to establish a connection for them, other than we think they might have been drinking buddies at a pub. But other than that, that's another stop we haven't yet to make. We just found that a connection out like earlier."
Let's stop by one of the crime scenes and then let's go to this pub.
Excellent, yeah. And I feel like at this point, Zachariah comes in and he's like, "Okay, great. So we're looking at the bodies." And then Amelia goes, "Yeah, we're going to go. Now we're going to the crime scene." And he's like, Okay, and then he just does an immediate about face, and then y'all are walking. And with that, we're about halfway through the show. Should we take a 10-minute break and then come up for the second half?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Alrighty, folks, we're going to be back at 8:40 EST. So hope to see you there.
There we go. And welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Alrighty, into part 2 of session 2. So y'all are quickly making your way away from the morgue onto the Hard City streets of Sharn. And it's a short walk to the first crime scene. You find that it's in the Middle Sharn district. Brennard, you know that usually implies that the individual working here maybe not upper class, but probably pretty solidly middle class.
Okay.
And as you make your way into a fairly standard looking estate building, Zachariah and Amelia heading on in first, producing a key and opening the door to the apartment building and heading on, leading inside. The building itself, the apartment, it's pretty standard. Nicer than Zachariah's apartment building for sure, but maybe not as nice as the Golden Shadows lair that y'all are at. Middle of the road. He had the individual. He has a fairly standard looking bed, desk. His clothes look all like you're just looking around, taking in the scene. He's got a crystal ball with a big easy chair pointed at it. And yeah, what would y'all like to do in this space?
Before we get started, I want to say, as we're walking in, Cera can probably be heard saying under her breath, "Oh, quaint," as they walk into the apartment building.
So okay, we're in this person's apartment, right? Is there any obvious signs of is it tossed?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation roll. Well, in terms of obvious signs, no. It seems like other than a clear spot where there's a large amount of dried blood on the ground, it seems like the place is intact. You're not seeing any obvious signs of struggle other than the dried blood pool.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll make an investigation check.
Okay. And anybody can assist Melu as well with that if they would like.
I don't know where I will.
Brennard's gonna be checking if the crystal television works.
I'm not much help.
All right, great.
Hey, Sarah's helpful.
Try my best.
Brennard, I would say make a tools check of some nature if you're investigating the crystal ball.
Okay.
I would say and Melu and Cera while Brennard heads over and takes a look at the crystal ball. You look around the apartment and you're able to corroborate what Zachariah told you, more or less along the lines that it definitely appears that there was no forced entry. You go over to all the windows and the doors. Everything is intact. There is nothing. There's no broken glass or anything like that. Everything is there's maybe a fine layer of dust over everything, as it's been maybe a little bit of time since this murder has occurred, and the dust itself is untouched. You don't notice anything. You don't notice anything in that regard. But Cera, I would say that looking around the space and just getting a feeling for the room itself, you get the feeling that there is something off with the interior dimensions of this room. You feel like it should be bigger than it is. And Brennard, with your 15 Arcana check, you look at the crystal ball, and it appears to be like a normal crystal ball, like that you would find in any shop. You do find tacked onto the back, however, a small little device that you're not actually able to determine what it does, and it seems to be wired into the crystal ball.
Am I able to remove it?
Yeah, it
All right.
pops right on out.
All right, I'm gonna put that in like a pouch pocket of my apron for now.
Sure.
Question. Are there, like usually in someone's house, they'd have a spot where they put their house keys. Is there any sign of there being like a set of keys around?
I'm gonna say no. With your 16 investigation, you do not see any keys about. Neither does Cera.
I wonder if maybe they let them in and then the person, whatever did this, killed them. And then they just took their keys and left.
Amelia, you said that the door was locked when you guys arrived, correct?
Correct. The investigators, when they came in, they had to use a knock spell to unbolt the door because it was barred from the inside. Like just your standard deadbolt, but it definitely couldn't have been done by somebody on the outside.
Oh,
Possible, but it's so weird to commit a murder and then lock up afterwards.
less likely for people to notice then, I think.
Something about this room just doesn't feel right to me.
It doesn't feel right to you. What do you mean?
Hard to put my finger on it. It just feels wrong.
Could there be magic involved?
At
want
this
me to
point,
take a
I'm
look?
almost-
Well, I was thinking I might just cast Dispel Magic.
If you would be a darling.
Yeah, I can do that once a day, I think. I think.
Is it for dispel magic? Is it targeted at a specific place, or is it like an AOE?
I think it's targeted.
I
'cause
think it might be targeted, but I was gonna try and target like the room itself, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay.
If you want, I still have my wand of detect magic, so I can still
Okay.
check for magic twice more.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe check for magic first. and
Okay.
then I'll-
So yeah, I'll pull out my wand and see if I get any readings in here.
Yeah, doing so, you find that on the right side of the room, where there is a large bookshelf filled with tomes, you get a slight magical sense emanating from behind.
Yeah, I think there's something behind the bookshelf. What school of magic is it?
I think illusion magic?
Okay.
Do you want me to dispel it?
Yeah, I think it feels like an illusion of some kind, so
I'll target the book. I've only got one shot at this, so I'm gonna target the bookcase, I guess. And I'll cast Dispel Magic. I can. Okay. Point of above the table thing. So I have this spell because I took the Drow High Magic feat, I believe. But I don't technically have a slot for it. I can still use it, right?
Yeah, if it's a class, that
Okay.
basically amounts to a class feature at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify.
Oh no,
awesome.
for sure.
I will cast Dispel Magic on the bookshelf.
Okay, great. Absolutely. So casting it at the bookshelf, it's almost difficult to notice what happened at first, but a keen eye reveals that one of the books on the lower shelf has disappeared, and in its place is a lever.
Should I roll perception?
Oh no, you see it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
It's obvious to see once it's gone.
Since
Melu, look
Brennard
at the group.
was detecting magic anyway, so he's probably pretty close. I'm gonna go ahead and say he pulls it.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulling the lever of the door causes the bookshelf to slide open. And behind the bookshelf, you find what is obviously to you, Brennard, a little workshop, funnily enough. And in it, like, as you open the door opens, lights, like, magically illuminate the room, and they pop on. And you see that it's clearly an artificer's workshop. You recognize the tools of the trade laid out on a work table. And this is, to you, this is odd, especially because you didn't really notice any artificer, like anything that would denote that this person was an artificer outside of this room. But it seems like this is like their private little workroom. And looking at the table and what they would have been working on, you find blueprints for a new type of crystal ball. And like just looking at the scribbled notes, you see like in scrawled penmanship, it says, higher quality picture and better sound. Can't wait to tell the others.
Are there any notes on it about what that thing I pulled off was?
You like thumb through like multiple blueprints, and it seems like this. You find another blueprint for that device, and it seems like it was some kind of adapter in order to bring the picture in higher quality.
Looks like he was working on something to improve CVs.
Well, that's interesting, but that raises so many more questions. Like, is that something worth killing someone for?
Or is that, yeah, is that relevant to what happened to this person?
So, I might normally agree, but even when I'm working on a private project, I've never hit it this well. This would be hell to work in. Never mind keep up. And he kind of like gestures to like the fact that the workshop's stuffed into like what seems to be like probably a closet-sized space.
Yeah, definitely.
Does the room still feel fairly small to Cera?
No, with the reveal of this secreted room, you definitely get the sense that this is the space that you were sensing.
Okay.
I feel like this is probably relevant. Is there any connection between the CVs and the others that were killed? I'll look to Amelia. Be like, do you have any information on any of the others? Related?
Amelia is like shocked that y'all have discovered this room, and she said, "No, we had no idea that he was even an artificer, let alone working on something like this. The other two, they're nobodies. They're definitely like they have no artificer. They have no relationship to artificery at all that we were able to find."
I mean, I'm an artificer and I barely found this, so...
Yeah, maybe there is something there.
Still, his
There's
note said
something.
something about wanting to tell the others, and
Exactly.
perhaps those other two were the others.
Is there something with the adapter? Because what kind of quality adjustments were they talking about?
On the notes that you found, Mystrich, for both the new Crystal Vision set and the adapter, it says like in quotes, and like underlined, it says realer and larger than life.
Who would want a big CV? What is the purpose of a big CV?
Would they want to distort their perception of reality?
I mean, not everyone can make it to the hippogriff races when those happen.
I think you might be overthinking it a bit. Why does anyone want a larger anything? Static.
Zachariah will chime in and say, but and what does this have to do with the murder?
Well, if it's new technology, something that could be sold for a lot of money.
So you're thinking conspiracy.
Potentially? Maybe a competitor? This seems not...
I mean, that is interesting because, as far as I'm aware, and Amelia, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only person that produces crystal balls is Percival Tusk. This is like a new technology that he's seemingly, billionaire Percival Tusk. That guy. He seemingly like came out of nowhere with this new technology.
Is that
And
so?
Is he alive?
Yes, he's an incredibly successful magnate of the city.
Well, and if he maybe didn't want this person to release this new thing...
Well, that's silly. It's a craftsman's job to innovate.
Well,
Yes,
I
but
mean,
it's a business person's job to maintain.
their market share.
Exactly.
I mean, crystal vision is one of the newest and hottest techs in the city. Like everybody and their grandma has one now. So there's definitely money to be made. This is troubling though. That the CEO of Dream Show Crystals, he's almost untouchable right now. He's so popular.
We shouldn't go directly to that source.
I
Maybe
still
we
think
should check
go
out
to
the other...
pub.
Yes, that was exactly what I was gonna say.
Yes, let's head on over to there. It's a local golden dragon that they would frequent. A little lower in Sharn, and y'all know that Sharn is so large that it like any big large metropolis city, it has multiple franchises at different levels of varying qualities. This isn't like your midtown McDonald's. This is like your lower end McDonald's, out in the boonies of town. This golden dragon and all right. Is there anything more anybody wants to do in this scene before we head on over to the dilapidated golden dragon?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think Brennard is gonna keep the blueprints on him.
Are you going to keep the little adapter too?
Yeah.
Smart. Very smart.
All right, great. Yeah, so y'all are heading down, cutting through back alleys and stuff because it's like getting from one point from A to B in Sharn. It's not just about like your lefts and your rights, but it's also there's a level of verticality as well. So you're going up and down steps and stuff and going through back alleys, and you are heading down to this towards the dilapidated dragon when you find yourself in a back alley that Zachariah has led y'all down. And when suddenly an individual comes out of the shadows, I'm just shifting the map over real quick.
Told you it was a trap.
And let me throw Amelia on here too. Come here, Amelia. All right. When rounding a corner down this back alley, y'all find a individual, an Aarakocra with an Aarakocra that looks a bit like a crow, waiting for you there. And Zachariah, who is leading the fray, recognizes him. And the Aarakocra will go. Ah, Zachariah, my old friend. And I see you've got some young pups with you as well. And he'll kind of like do that kind of like bird laugh as he mentions y'all. As they're having this minor moment, you see that there are multiple like other like bandity figures kind of creeping out of the shadows from behind both behind the crow figure and behind you guys, and you'll realize that y'all have been pincered.
Oh no.
And Zachariah will go, "What do you want, Crow? I don't have time for this. We're in the middle of a mystery." And Crow will respond, "Oh, it's interesting that you say that. We've been told that maybe you should drop that little mystery, if you know it's good for you." Does anybody have any response to this?
Cera pipes
So
up
many
from the
things.
back, and she just says, "Do you always make it a habit of trying to ambush strangers, especially well-armed strangers, whom you know maybe next to nothing about?"
If the coin is good, it doesn't really matter. And if you're friends with Trench, or if you're friends with Zachariah over here, I mean, And the Birdman will shrug.
Can I?
But
Can,
tell
can I-
me. Oh, go ahead,
Can
Melu.
I subtly start prepping hold person?
Damn it.
Sure, go ahead and go ahead and make a stealth roll to see how stealthily you can do that.
Yeah.
The go-to.
Stealth or sleight of hand? They're equally
Let's
bad. Never
say-
mind. 9.
9. Okay. The Crowman is gonna say, "I see your friend has made your decision for you." And he is going. He's gonna drop his hand to his belt where he's got his sword, not drawn, but like you can sense the threat there. And
Shit.
he'll look at you, Melu, and he'll go, "You best want to stop that casting now before I lose my patience."
Melu will stop. Just mid. Be like, I wasn't doing anything bad.
Nice to see we have people who are accommodable. Not to go casting those spells before we've finished our little interaction here. Like I said, this is simply a pleasant little. I don't want to say warning, because warning has a bad connotation to it, but maybe just a little, like, how do you do to my good friend Zachariah over here, that you should probably drop this investigation. But I mean, I'm not your boss, and I'm also can't be responsible whether or not your legs get broken too. So, maybe it would be for the best for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Could go so
Well-
poorly for him.
Maybe it would be best if you perhaps stayed out of our way as well. From one acquaintance to another, I would like to make a little reminder that you can't spend coin if you're in the ground.
My good friend, I see that we are cut from the same cloth. I agree, you cannot spend coin while you're in the ground. And it is a good thing that I have no intention of dying in this moment. But I must impress upon my good friend here that you gotta stop the investigation. And Zachariah will kind of look at the rest of you, and like he's trying to gauge what y'all's thoughts are on this.
Oh, Melu is ready to attack.
I'm like this close from like above table, just like rolling an intimidation roll just for the hell of it.
I mean, if you want to, I'd say go ahead.
That's
I
it.
am
Sarah's
gonna roll insight. It's not very good, but oh, never mind. I got a
Ooh,
nat 20.
nat 20.
So I'm gonna
Doesn't
roll
have to be that
insight.
good when you crit. Hey-oh, let's go.
I'm gonna roll an insight check to see how Trap and Blunt are feeling about like this. Like, can I get an idea if they are more in favor of dropping it? Because since this is technically their job, I kind of want to go by them.
you get the sense that that Zachariah maybe looks a little bit nervous considering like the amount of bandits that he can see. But looking at Amelia, you see fire in her eyes, and she looks like she's about to fucking kick some ass.
A kindred
All right.
spirit.
Well, we know who the real
Good.
boss of this place is, so.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, so Zachariah will like look at the determination on all y'all's faces, and he will smile, and he will turn back to Crow, and he'll say, "Sorry, losing's just not in my vocabulary." And then he'll go to draw. Everybody go in and roll initiative.
Woo.
Hey.
Yay. Brr, 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 brr.
Hey.
Oh my god, digital dice hate me so much.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll because I want to say I'm
Do it.
like prepared for the battle. So of course I still didn't get very good, but I went a little bit higher.
I hate that for you.
Damn, Sarah. At 22.
Is she ready?
Rigged up.
Bandits rolled like shit.
Good.
And so did Zachariah.
Yeah. Wait, no, he's on our side. Never mind.
Crow rolled really well.
Oh god damn it.
And Miss Blunt. She rolled pretty good. All right. Oh, and let me make sure to get everybody into the initiative order. Turns. 22 from Cera, very nice.
Good for the cleric to go low on the thing, right?
Yeah.
9 for Ellida. Or 9 for Melu. Between Melu and Brennard, you both rolled a 9. Which of y'all would like to go first?
I think I would if that's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I was gonna say you should go first anyway.
Perfect.
9. Oh, that's a P. That's not a number at all. P is not a number. All right. And Brennard's going first. All right, great. So that's gonna put us at the top of the round with Cera. What do you do?
Yes. Sarah's gonna take a little 5-foot steppy right over here where Zachariah is, and she sees these boys at the back of the alley, and on this guy in particular, she is just immediately going to cast Shatter on him.
Nice.
And so everyone within a 10-foot radius of him needs to roll a Constitution check.
Yeah, so just everybody. You hit everybody in that little square. Perfect. Con save. 16 on the save, so they take half of 13, which is 6. Quick. Great. Yeah, so your Eldritch Shockwave emanates out. How do you cast it from like your weapon, or how does it look?
No, she actually has not drawn her weapon yet, so this is just her stepping out, and she just kind of like snaps her fingers in the general direction of them, and there's just like a moment where you can see like a ripple of magic, and then right under the first guy is just where you see the point of impact, and it just explodes outwards.
Nice, yeah, and the explosion is massive, like centered in this small alleyway. Like it rips into the building to the right of the individual that you targeted, and like large cracks appear in the foundation of the building as this shatter goes off, buffeting this group of 4 bandits, like to and fro. They get slammed up against each other, and they look hurt, but they're still standing. Anything more for Cera?
that is all for now.
Great. That is going to make it Crow's turn. Crow is going to move up to, I think, seeing that you cast that spell just now, he's going to move up to you, Cera, and he's going to focus you. He can make, oop, that's the wrong guy. Crow can make 3 attacks, 2 with its scimitar and 1 with their dagger. So he's going to swing at you twice. Crit fail, 11 to hit, doesn't do shit. And then dagger, 7 to hit, also misses. So you just like using your cloak of displacement, you're just like everywhere that the blade isn't, just nimbly dodging around it, completely avoiding any strike from him. That is going to make it Amelia's turn. Amelia is going to immediately flip around and take a pot shot directly at the baddies directly behind her. Oh, my character sheet is bugging out for Amelia for some reason, but give me 1 second. Come on, Amelia. Buck up there. And she's going to take 2 shots, 1 at each target. 22 and a 7 will... 22 will hit, but a 7 will miss. And she deals 3 points of piercing. She just wings a dude in the arm as they're kind of closing in. Making it Ellida's turn.
Okay. We're gonna do. Let's see. I'm gonna do a Chaos Bolt.
Nice. Absolutely.
At Crowman. Crowman?
Sure.
That guy. Chaos Bolt.
Crowman. Perfect. Yeah, go in and roll the hit.
Okay. It's not my character. What happened? Hold on. Oh, I minimized it. I wonder. Here we go. And I'll cast it at level 2.
Go for it. 22 will definitely hit, dealing. Oh, nice. But it. So you got the double bounce. You got the bounce off on it. However, due to the fact that it's not 30. Crow is not within 30 feet of another target. I checked. He's 40 feet out from the nearest dude, I think. Yeah. So it's just gonna do it's just gonna do a shit ton of damage to him. It's gonna do 16 total points of damage.
Hell yeah.
As it rips into him. And it's acid. So like Ellida conjures this bolt. What does the conjuring look like as you do so?
You're just gonna you said it was acid damage?
Yes.
So you said? Okay, so she's just gonna very like elegantly motion with her hands and push forward as this beam of acid goes straight into him.
Nice. Yeah, I love it. So Ellida, y'all see Ellida like gesturing with her hands before summoning this sickly green beam, which narrowly darts between Zachariah and Cera, just lancing Crow like through the chest. His his bird feathers like burning and smoldering on the ground as the acid like lances into him, and you see it hurts him like badly. Like that looks like that fucked him up. pretty good. Anything more for Ellida?
No.
Excellent. All right, that's going to make it Brennard's turn.
All right, I am going to spend my action to summon my cannon right here. I relinked you the token in Discord.
Oh, thank you. I knew I was forgetting to do something. I will get that up as soon as possible. But yes, do continue. And then the cannon is going to make some rolls.
Yep. So let me just see. All right, and then I will take a bonus action to activate it, and I'm gonna do the Force Ballista version. And so that will be, I'll target this dude right here, right in front. And I make an attack roll of, I believe it's a ranged spell attack. Yes, it is. All right, so that is
And
a
you should be able to
22 to
control
hit.
that. Oh, that's definitely gonna hit the band. Perfect.
All right, and that's going to do 8 force damage.
Nice. And you're targeting the same one that Amelia targeted?
Did she target the one in the top left?
Oh no, she targeted the bottom. So
All right,
he
yeah,
takes
I'm
the
just
8.
gonna go in a straight line with my cannon. And that's my action. That's my bonus action. So I think I'm good
Nice.
for now.
I'm gonna say because the target gets pushed 5 feet, but he can't go anywhere because he's got somebody behind him. Go ahead and roll me a d6, and he'll take a d6 additional damage from
Nice.
getting buffeted into his buddy.
Woo!
And that's enough to knock him. So you just the force ballista manifests. It pulverizes into him like a fucking like a battering ram, slamming him into his friend who just he looks like he survived the first initial bat, but hitting his friend at the wrong angle, it just he crumples to the ground like a pile of
Nice.
shit, completely knocked out. Boom. All right, great. And you should be able to control the force ballista token as well.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Excellent. You're very welcome. Anything more for Brennard?
Nope, that's my turn for this round.
Fantastic. And that makes it Melu's turn.
Cool. I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon. And bully someone over the head with it.
Nice.
Probably the guy that's. I'm gonna try and point to him if I can. The one next to
Yeah.
the one that Brennard just took out.
I got you. Yeah, the one that Amelia had successfully been able to hit. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'll throw my spiritual weapon right in front of him because I have I think 20 or 30 feet with it,
Great. Yeah, perfect.
and then just smack him.
Sweet.
Big old
Absolutely. Go
shield.
on and roll. Oh, that's a 16 to hit. Right, gotcha. Okay. The 16 definitely hits for 7 force damage, and that is enough to knock this guy out as well. The one that Amelia had winged.
Nice.
Sweet. Excellent. And that's a bonus action for you, right?
That is a bonus action.
Oh, good.
Can I move there? Why can I not grab my token? There we go. Can I move here? Is that possible? Can I move through Ellida and Zachariah?
If you do, yes, you can move through ally spaces, no problem. But if you do so, you will invoke an attack of opportunity from Crow.
Oh. Wait, who is Crow? thought he was on the
The
side.
Aokakra.
Oh. Yeah, sure. If he wants to try and hit me, he can.
Let me. I don't know what happened to his character sheet. And he will swing at you with his scimitar. For 15 to hit.
That hits.
That deals 6 slashing damage to you as his scimitar just nicks into your flesh as you dart by.
Rude. Sorry, 6, did you say?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Cool. I don't think I have anything else I'm going to do, even though I have an action. So I think I'm gonna
You can cast the
stay.
cantrip.
Oh. I'm gonna Sacred Flame him in return then.
Perfect.
I love it.
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Nice. Okay.
Let me see.
15
Aw.
beats it, so he saves.
He totally saves. Okay, never mind then.
Damn, just one.
Close.
Yeah.
You hate to see
Yes.
it.
So,
You
Melu, what does the casting of Sacred Flame look like?
I think for Melu, they Melu kind of grabs. They're already holding their holy symbol of Balinor, but they say the incantation and they kind of almost like baseball pitch flame at someone.
Sure. I love it.
Chuck
Yes.
it.
So you yeet this ball of flame at Crow, and I feel like he probably has his eye on you as he had damaged you on your way past. So he's just able to see the arc of the flame coming in, and he's able to just artfully dodge to the side as it lands and sputters out on the cobbles below. Anything more for Melu?
No, that's it.
Fantastic. That's gonna make it the bandits' turns. So these two bandits, does the shield get or does the spiritual weapon get attacks of opportunity, or does it not? I have no
No,
idea.
I don't believe so. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, because I think you have to order it to do stuff.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. And then these guys are gonna just move directly forward, as well as these guys up here. So these guys, I think I have enough movement to these ones. Yeah, these guys can get close enough to make a single attack against Melu each, and these guys only have enough range in order to get. Well, actually, these guys are gonna stay. These guys are gonna stay back, and they're just gonna fire arrows in. So now, Brennard, remind me how the turret works. Does it have AC?
Yes, it does. It has AC and HP.
Okay, then in that case, the bandits are gonna both go for the cannon because it just took out one of their friends. So they're both gonna swing at it with scimitar attacks each. 5 to hit, 11 to hit.
Both miss.
Perfect. All right, excellent. Yeah, so I feel like they're just like coming in with their scimitars, and they're just like they are hitting the turret, but they're not doing any damage to it. They're just like hitting an armored section of it, and their blows are glancing off, completely unaffecting the the turret.
Just so hardy.
Yes. So two of these Crow's bandits are going to attack Melu now with scimitars each.
Rude.
12 to hit and natural 20.
12 does not hit, but the natural 20 is gonna suck.
Yeah, that's gonna do 9 total points of damage to you. As I feel like it's this guy that does it, the one that came up like right behind you, and you're just like distracted with Crow that you didn't maybe notice him, and he just like guts you from behind, driving his scimitar into your back.
Ugh.
And then these bandits back here, they're going to take one shot at Zachariah and one shot at Cera with light crossbows. So the first at Zachariah and then at Cera. The one easily misses Cera, and I think it misses Zachariah as well. Yes, it misses Zachariah. All right. That's it for the bandits' turns. That is going to make it Zachariah's turn. He is going to stab at Crow. With he's going to produce a rapier and then stab at him. Oh, sorry, a short sword. My apologies. And oh, sorry. 14 is going to hit Crow. No, actually, it does not. Crow kind of turns his attention towards Zachariah, and he meets his blade as it's coming at him, and they begin to like lock swords, fighting one another. Zachariah is unable to land a hit on Crow. They're seemingly evenly matched in this moment. Which brings us back to the top of the round of Cera.
Okay, so just let me get this straight on economy. Something takes an action that is just like that's separate from a movement action or a bonus. And then in order to cast a cantrip, you specifically have to have a feat in order to cast cantrips on a bonus action, correct?
So
The first half you've got is correct. Movement action and action, your normal standard action, and then your bonus action. Those are all different things. Certain spells have bonus actions as casting times. So, for example, like with Melu's spiritual weapon, that has a casting time of a bonus action. There is a specific feat that you can pick up that turns spells into bonus actions using sorcery points and meta magic and all that shenanigans. But there are certain spells that are always bonus actions. For example, like spiritual weapon and healing word is one of them as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
and the only other rule is you can't cast. This is kind of I think what you're thinking of is you can't cast 2 spells per turn, but you can, if one is a bonus action, cast 1 spell and 1 cantrip per turn.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Basically the way that it works is any spell, you can only cast 1 like spell with a spell slot per turn, but you can cast a spell with a spell slot and a cantrip if your action economy allows.
All right, just checking. Alrighty.
Absolutely.
That being said, Cera is going to cast Chill Touch on Crow.
Nice. Absolutely. 12 to hit. Unfortunately misses. I feel like he's so locked into his combat with Zachariah that he sees you advancing and he's able to like just stay away from you in such a way that like you recognize that if you were to get in there and actually put hands on him in order to cast the spell, there's the high potential that you could potentially hit Zachariah or leave him in a detrimental spot in the way that they're fighting.
Gotcha. All right, and Sarah's going to take a 5-foot step back so that she's back to back with Brennard, and that's going to be the turn.
So I would say that because you're stepping out of Crow's reach, you would he would get an attack of opportunity. Oh wait, no, sorry, he used his attack of opportunity already.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Never
he
mind.
used his reaction on me.
Yep. He sure did. All right, perfect. Nice. All right, that's it for Sarah. It is now Crow's turn once more. He is going to focus all of his attention onto Zachariah at this point, and he's going to make his 3 attacks, 2 with the scimitar and 1 with the dagger. He's dual wielding at this point. He's got the scimitar in one hand and the dagger in his off. So 2 at Zachariah, 19 and 19 are going to both hit, and then 16 I believe is going to hit as well. Zachariah might be in for a bad time. Yep, that's 16 definitely hits too. So that's going to deal 5. Ooh, 9. 14, and then the dagger.
Does he have dual wield?
19. 19 total damage. Damn.
Oh,
You see Crow just dive his fucking blades hilt deep into fucking Zachariah, and you hear like a sputter come from him as he spits blood. Crow withdraws his blade from Zachariah, and he looks fucked up. He looks like he is barely standing at this point. He is definitely at the very least bloodied. And Crow says, "You should have taken the chance to walk away, friend. I gave you the opportunity." And that's gonna make it Amelia's turn. Amelia is going to let forth a blood-curdling scream of rage as Zachariah is stabbed, and she is going to do an about face and take both pot shots with her longbow at Crow, ignoring the bandits bearing down upon her. 23 will hit, 7 will not. So the first hit, she's so like angry, it hits true, but the second one, it misses for 5 points of piercing. And this one, dives into Crow's shoulder, his other shoulder, and it leaves him like it's embedded in there, still just sitting in there as it penetrates him, and he recoils, but he's still smiling in his very weird crow-like way. That is going to make it Ellida's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna do firebolt on Crow.
Right? Absolutely. Go and roll the hit. I would also remind you that you have meta magic too, if you wanted to like do more with that.
Ah yes, meta magic. Oh yeah, this I just put down the description. Okay. Yes. All right. Let me see. Okay. I have a lot of meta magic. I'm gonna do empowered spell with firebolt.
Great, and that makes it like you can reroll like 1s and 2s, something like that.
Yeah, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll a number of the damage dice up to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1.
Nice. All right, yeah, go ahead and roll the hit.
All right. Firebolt.
Oh wow, 20 will definitely hit. Very nice. And that will deal 8 points of damage. Do you want to use do you still want to use the meta magic to reroll that, or do you want to keep the 8?
Maybe. What's the maximum I could do? I guess it would be. Let's see.
I think 10. I think you're on the high side.
It'll be 10. You're on the high side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it then. Yeah, I'm not gonna reroll it.
Yeah, no worries. So much similar to the Chaos Bolt, it lands it. Ellida summons this flame, filling this small enclosed alley with the intense smell of sulfur and brimstone very momentarily as she lets loose this bolt of flaming energy, which again like darts around Zachariah, diving directly into Crow, singeing his bird feathers. It looks with that bolt. It looks like he is no longer smiling. He looks hurt at this point. Maybe not bloodied, but around that point. Anything more for Ellida?
No.
Fantastic. All right, that is gonna make it Brennard's turn.
All right. Let me just. So I know I'm gonna do this. So I guess I'll do this first. So I'm gonna have this move back 5 feet, which will get, if they have opportunity attacks, they will get them.
Oh yeah, they'll both take it then. They will both take with their scimitars. Crit fail, 17 to hit.
That misses. It has 18 AC.
Wow, chonky turret. Holy
I
shit.
know. Hey, Brennard's good at what he does.
That's awesome.
And it's gonna take a shot at this dude right here.
Hell yeah.
Kablam. So that is a 22 to
22
hit. 9 damage,
Yep,
and he's
that's
pushed
it.
5 feet.
That'll definitely do it. He's not down, but he's definitely looking pretty fucked up from that. Like he's bleeding pretty badly, and he definitely gets knocked back.
All right, and Brennard is gonna go into the fight, and he is going to cast Shocking Grasp on this guy. So,
nice.
What he's gonna do is, since they have scimitars, he's literally gonna like reach out and just kind of touch the scimitar and like electrocute it through that.
Fuck yeah, I love it. And that makes you roll with advantage too, right?
I'm not sure. It might. Let me get Shocking Grasp up because I actually don't have that one written on my sheet. Too many spells.
I think if there's something having to do with metal, like metal armor or
Yeah, I
something
think it's
like
if they
that.
have metal armor. Yes,
Okay,
if they
okay.
have, you have advantage on the attack roll if they have armor made of metal.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it would just be at normal then.
All right, well, I'll take it. And that is a, I don't have my regular spell attack on here. Wait, if I do spells, can I do it from here? No. Can I do it from here? No. All right, well, I'm going to have to add that to the sheet at some point.
I might be able to help you with that. And 11 will not hit though.
Well, what if I'm trying to think if I can improv a good scene from my memory.
Well, let me ask you this: how does the shocking grasp work? Right, like what does it look like when you're casting it?
Yeah, I think for Brennard, it's something. It's a way of sort of maintaining currents in the dragon shards he uses. So he focuses on, so just like working on looking at the scimitar, he knows how the metal is connected because he's made swords, he's made wands, he's made just about everything under the sun at this point, working for House Canna. So he knows where to touch, where it's going to go right to this guy's fingers.
Sure, I love that. Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and re-roll that with advantage. Also, I think you should have it in the spell attack in your character sheet now. It should be there.
Oh, Pog. 20. Not
Sweet. Yeah, that
not a nat
absolutely
20,
is.
but a 20.
A dirty 20. We'll take it. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. And so that is going to be 1d8 lightning damage. So 7 damage.
Excellent. All right. Yeah. So, Brennard, you're like reaching towards the sword, and you're about to cast Shocking Grasp on it when channeling the energy through your dragon shard. When you realize that there is a slightly better place that you could put your hand onto where this individual is gripping it to conduct the electricity even better, and you do so, and the effect is dramatic and improved, and the shock jumps from your glove directly to the individual taking this 7 points of lightning damage. They aren't downed, but they definitely look crispy, and there's the smell of burnt hair in the air for sure.
Yeah, and I think just to add on, I think specifically he might have like I recognize he has a Caneth forged blade, and that's kind of how I know, like, all right, there's a strip of metal that goes right through the hilt on that specific model, and that's why I know exactly where to touch.
Perfect. I love that flavor. That's great. All right, awesome. Is there anything more for Brennard?
Let me see. The cannon shot. I moved. I shocked. I'm good.
Excellent. Alrighty, that's gonna make it Melu's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna do something dumb, maybe.
Do something crazy. Do something
So
crazy.
Melu is going to grasp their holy symbol, hold out a hand, and this like spectral hand starts to come out and around Crow and try to like grab and crush onto him. I'm gonna cast Ray of Enfeeblement on him.
Nice.
Oh god, I really hope this works.
21 hits.
21!
Let's go.
Okay, so
Nice.
on.
on a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. So he's debuffed, essentially.
Nice. So he's gonna be dealing half damage, and then he makes a Constitution save at the end of every turn.
Yes.
Great. All right, let me go ahead and put a little token on my boy Crow here to show that he is now a weakling.
And then I'm gonna Sacred Flame him again.
Nice.
Gosh.
Wait, is Ray of Enfeeblement a main action spell?
Yeah, it's a full action.
Okay, so I don't think
Oh,
you have the.
no, yeah, I
action
forgot.
autonomy. Mhm.
You're right. I forgot that Sacred Flame is a full action as well. Never mind.
Yeah, no worries though. But I think you've got your shield still though. Your spiritual weapon.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do. I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon. Can I just move it? I can only move it 20 feet, so can I move it between Amelia and Cera for right now?
Yeah, definitely. So like right here.
Yes.
Perfect. Make sure you have control over that too. Yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
And the spiritual shield just kind of slips through the crowd before resting between Cera and Amelia. There we go.
Awesome.
All right, great. That is going to make it the bandits' turns. The bandits themselves, they look pretty badly bloodied and beaten, and they're looking maybe a little nervous, seeing the amount of blood that Crow is bleeding now, especially now that like this sickly green hand is like clutching at him. Hands are clutching at him and gripping him. They are going to. These ones right next to you, Melu, they are going to disengage, and they're going to move back 30 feet.
Do I get an
It's
attack
basically
of
a spark.
opportunity?
No, they're using their full action in order to
Oh, to
prevent.
disengage. Yeah, never mind.
And these two here next to you and Amelia Brennard, these two are doing the same, and they're moving back 30 feet. And that is going to make it Zachariah's turn. Zachariah is going to pull out a little potion, and he is going to drink that. He's just going to get some HP back. He gains 9 life from drinking this little potion. Plus 9. And that's going to be his turn. It's going to make it Sarah's turn.
Sarah's going to take a 5-foot step towards Crow, and she sizes him up, sees how much damage is done to him, and she says, "Now is your last chance to stop making such a foolish mistake."
Roll intimidation.
Okie dokie.
Does it help at all that Melu has made him feel probably absolutely sluggish and tired and terrible?
I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and roll that with advantage.
It's okay.
Oh
I have a
damn!
+7 to intimidation.
Nice.
So, I mean, 22 and 24, both really good rolls. With the advantage, 24, you, Crow, like, can see that he's beaten. He can see that his men are demoralized. And he will look you in the eye, Cera, and he will say, "Fair enough. I know when I'm beat," and he will sheath his sword. Is there anything more that Cera wants to do?
Yes. She's going to seemingly just reach into like a shadow, which is apt because they're in the alleyway. And when she pulls her hand from the shadow, she then has her rapier in her hand, and she just points the tip at Crow, and she goes, "Now, you're going to tell me who paid you enough coin to risk your life."
All right, perfect. So that is going to make it Crow's turn. Oh, I've skipped past Crow accidentally. But Crow is like putting his hands up, putting his weapon away. He is going to say, "Now, I'm a man of my word, or a bird of my word, shall I say? But I don't feel I can tell y'all who would have been the individual to hire us and be able to keep my good name. I'm sure you understand."
Now, Crow, we both know that you could also just as very easily tell us the information we need, and you could tell everyone else that we tortured you for it.
But I feel like you're an individual that, when put to means, that you would follow through with your word. So in that case, in this case, and he will pull from his person, like inside of a pocket, he will pull forth a missive, which will read, and hand it to you, Cera. Looking it over, it is a hit contract that has been created for Zachariah and Amelia. And at the bottom of the contract, stamped in a fancy symbol, is the logo of Dream Show Crystals.
Cera looks over the missive, and she looks back up in Crow, and she says, "Ah, how fortuitous for you to have dropped this," and she tucks it into one of her pockets. "You'll be going now, Crow."
Yes, I would have sworn that I burned that, but yes, good day to you all. And with that, he will just jump into the air and fucking fly away, and all the bandits will run off.
I am not taking Ray of Enfeeblement off of him. He's dealing with that for the rest of that minute that it lasts.
Getting the workout of his life.
You can tell he's not having a good time keeping himself aloft in the air.
Melu is so petty. I love it.
I gotta lay off the bagel bits.
Fantasy
I really gotta start
Chipotle
that
was a
keto.
bad choice.
Oh my god.
So yes, Zachariah will continue to patch himself up a little bit as y'all are looking over this new piece of evidence that y'all have discovered, and y'all are out of initiative.
Melu will look at Zachariah and ask if he needs any healing.
No, I've got another potion. Save your spell, save your magic,
Alright.
and I'll drink another potion.
Sarah's going to look at Zachariah and say, "You really worried your partner there for a second."
He'll guffaw at that, and he'll say, "Amelia, she couldn't give less of a shit if I lived or die. Isn't that right?" And he'll look over back at Amelia,
Sorry.
and Amelia will roll her eyes, and she'll say, "Yeah, that's definitely it." What were you gonna say, Raichkyu?
Oh, nothing. Did I,
Oh, sorry, thought I heard a
did I
voice.
light up? No, I'm good. I was thinking.
Sorry.
I was thinking over stuff.
Can I see what the page that he handed you says?
Oh, this thing. Yeah. And Cera produces it again, and she shows the group the hit contract on Zachariah and Amelia. You two really pissed someone off.
the Crystal television people too, right?
I'm sure there's really only one person that would sign off on this.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how they didn't put a name on it at all. That's very telling.
Mm-hmm. I guess we know where our next stop is then.
Yeah.
Hold up. We can't just go walk into his office.
Why not?
Oh, I meant the pub. What were you all thinking of?
We go to Dream Crystal Visions?
Oh,
Listen, I
agree. Zachariah will chime in and say, I agree with Cera. I think that we should go and confront the business. Try to get to the bottom of what's going on.
are we sure we should bring the only evidence that we have right now of this directly to the business with the two people that the evidence is taking a hit out on?
Can be
also
more
we're
sneaky
kind of
about it.
and Brennard's gonna like look around the corner and kind of like look both ways and say it a little bit like a loud whisper that's very obvious to everyone here, but like a secret society. I don't know if we should be broadcasting that.
I think we can be careful about it.
First of all, our evidence will be safely on my person.
We thought that
tucks
about the idol.
Yes, well, it wasn't on me. She tucks
Oh,
it
rude.
into her suit, and honestly, you have no idea where in this cat suit she has room to put anything. And she goes, number 2. Yes, we walked the 2 targets for the hit contract directly into their office. Why? You don't there's a saying, you don't shit where you eat.
I guess.
It'd be bad for business for them to die in those offices. Be even worse for all of us to die there. That would raise a little bit of a stink.
So it
We have
sounds
our
like
next
y'all are
step
heading
in front of
to
us.
Yeah.
oh sorry, say again.
This is just Ellida says, I think we have our next step in front of us.
All right, perfect. And with that, it sounds like y'all head off to Dream Show Crystals.
Yes.
Boy, we've been just completely butchering that name, huh?
Yeah, the whole time.
It's close enough. Close
TV.
enough. It's fine.
Crystal TV place.
Excellent. Yes. So y'all head off to the headquarters of this business. It's taken several hours, like back and forth of moving about the city, and as well as just your various investigations. That night has begun to fall as y'all make your way to this building. It's on the upper levels of Sharn because it's so well-to-do and up and coming. But it's fairly easy to get there. Y'all are able to hail a sky taxi, and it takes y'all there in less than like an hour. But at that point, night has has fallen pretty hard. And walking into the building, though, there is nobody at the reception desk. The building is seemingly empty.
Oh, while we are on our way there, would that count as a short rest?
You know what? I'll be nice. I'll say yes. It does count as a short rest. You're hanging out in that taxi for an hour.
Thank God, I'm using some hit dice.
Yes. All right, so yeah, no receptionist. Sarah's like, well, that's curious.
is a little weird, isn't it? Are these normal business hours for them, though?
Yeah, it does look like there are like there's like a sign on the wall like outside that says that they would be normally open during this time,
The door was open.
and the door was open.
Is there like a bell on the receptionist desk?
As you move forward to look at the receptionist desk, you don't notice a bell, but you do notice a memo that has just kind of sitting there. And reading the memo, it says, "Attention! Effective immediately, all employees are fired. Please leave."
I will recount that
Immediately.
information to the group.
Even more curious.
You think this was just done today? Can you tell if the ink is like fresh?
Yeah.
It's dated today. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. For the fun of it, eyes of the grave. My eyes will flash white.
There are no undead within 60 feet of you.
Okay.
I love Melu's willingness to just at all times be like, "Are there any fucking undead in here?"
I can do
They're
it 4
very
times
thorough.
a day. I'm gonna keep using it.
But in this like opening reception area, you do see that there are a couple doors that lead into, or there's like a door that leads deeper into the building.
Can I like press an ear up to the door to see if I can hear anything?
Sure. Listening at the door, it is dead silent.
I think they might be expecting us.
Perhaps.
I told
Sarah's
you.
Sarah takes point and just waltzes right on in.
Oh boy.
Great. The door opens without any issue, and y'all walk in. Y'all find yourself in a fancy-looking CEO's office. There's like all kinds of fucking shitty knickknacks on the table, and there's like terrible posters on the walls that say shit like "pull yourself up by your bootstraps." And you know, when I was your age, I could go to college at for cheap, and you should too. Or you know, there's some boomer shit on the walls, and
I go to college for cheap. My house for the price of toast.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So y'all find yourself in this funny office.
immediately behind the receptionist's desk?
Yes.
Okay. Worst security ever.
This room is also
Sarah-
completely empty. There's like nobody here.
Sarah's taking a look around the office, making her way to the desk, and I guess I'll also roll an investigation. But
Yeah, absolutely. Go in and make
She
me an
also-
investigation check.
she also like disdainfully just makes the comment, "Somebody must not have been very rich very long."
Yeah, you definitely get that vibe. So 15 investigation. Does anybody else investigate the room as well?
I kind of look around.
Yeah, I think I'm looking around more than, but I guess I'll roll investigate too.
Sure, you
Can
can
I just roll
investigation or
perception?
perception as y'all are taking a look. See.
Not very good though.
Okay, or perception. Let me see. Investigation's like -1. Let me see.
Why did this suddenly bump me into secret roll mode? What is happening?
Secret rolling.
12! A whole 12! This is the only thing I'm good at, and I somehow got 12.
Hey, go Ellida.
And then
Good
and
job,
a natural
Ellida.
20 for Ellida. Perfect. All right, great. So, y'all are taking like looks around the room. The room itself is like you definitely get the feeling like that this is a little bit of a sham. Like you get the feeling that there's fresh coat that's been painted on the walls, and like it definitely feels like it's been recently renovated. Ellida, I think that you go and sit behind the desk at the chair, in like the CEO's chair, and you notice that underneath the desk, like there is a funny, suspicious looking button.
She's okay. This might be a bad idea.
Oh, God.
But
Here's the thing.
just press the button.
There you go. Because I was going to say, like, you think it's a bad idea, but is it in character for her to just do it?
Absolutely, she would just press the button. Yes.
Perfect. You press the button and you hear as from underneath the desk, it kind of like pivots away and the floor opens into a stairwell descending down into darkness. Emanating out of the darkness, you can hear faint music. All of you.
Oh,
Good.
Ellida,
yeah.
please warn everybody before you press a button next time.
I
Why? It looks like she found the place we were going anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
what?
What if that button did something else?
Yeah, what if it was a trap?
But
well,
it
the way
wasn't.
you guys, you probably would have talked about it a little bit too long, and then we might have lost some time. So,
All right.
I
And also, it wasn't a trap anyway. It opened the
Yeah.
door.
just weirdly confident in her there.
Sarah's just like, all right, whatever.
Do you hear that music?
Yeah, it's. Huh.
I don't
It's
like
a
that.
tad hard to miss.
Well,
Sarah goes in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lead us
Brennard's
around
following
to-
as well.
Melu is following as well.
I was going.
Awesome. So y'all make your way descending down into the darkness. It descends like deep into Sharn. Brennard, this is like Brennard and anybody else who has spent a large part of time in Sharn, probably Cera as well. This kind of boggles your mind a little bit that you're going into the ground like this in Sharn, because normally like it's very difficult to find space in this city because it's all stacked on top of itself and built around buildings that have already existed. So finding a straight stretch kind of down like this stairway is very surreal to you as you descend into the darkness in Sharn before eventually coming to a landing with two open doors. And y'all walk into to the room hearing this music emanating out of it, and you find yourself in a subterranean room, a square room where there is oh shit, let me pull up the token form. There's a man standing like working at a table, and the music is like coming from a record player off to the side, and he's kind of like he's almost like humming to himself and hasn't noticed the party as they've entered in as they enter into the room. Another thing of note in the room itself is that in the four corners of it, not the exact four corners, but in the general placement of four positions, there are these extremely large crystal sets that are there, and they all are flickering snow static. There's no picture coming through on them, and the man is just humming to himself, going about tending to them as he's doing so. It seems like he's not noticed you.
Sarah looks from the large sets to Brennard, back to the large sets, hoping that maybe he'll just get what she's getting at.
He absolutely does not.
Melu is gonna start like making hand motions, like trying to be like, should I hold person? Like, they're probably not making any sense, but they're trying. That's what they're trying to convey.
Like she
all
just
moving
keeps
their
making
hands
grabbing
like that.
motions, and everybody's like, "What are you?"
Yeah, they're standing there like, you know what? I'm just gonna
I'm
do
free.
it.
I'm sorry. There's also one more thing that I meant to mention. On the ground, at the intersection point between all four of these large crystal sets, there is etched into the ground. There is some form of ritual circle.
Oh,
Oh,
Good.
this is
Love
very
that.
good to know.
can I do a
All right,
religion
that's the
check?
important part. Yes, absolutely. Make that religion roll.
You do a religion. I'm going to do an arcana.
Yeah, go for it.
Nice.
Oh!
Natural 20. Okay, nice. Cera. Let me do Cera first. Cera, you definitely get the sense that this is conjuration magic. Absolutely. Ellida, something about the runes on the ground and the pattern of them, the way that they are almost spiraling in on themselves and becoming recursive like deeper on. There's something about it that reminds you of dreams, funnily enough, and you suddenly remember that like a passage that you read about an ancient religious order that was able to summon nightmares, and something about the iconography on the ground here reminds you of that. And I think it's at about this point that the individual notices y'all, and he goes, "Oh, wow! I didn't realize I had guests. Y'all are here. Y'all are here for the. Y'all are perfectly timed." And he'll step into the middle center of the.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Wasn't Melu just going to go ahead and hold this person anyway?
I did say that.
Did you want to do that?
Yeah, let me try.
Sure.
So hold person is a wisdom saving throw.
Give me 1 second.
Fingers crossed.
16.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I feel like, that's probably what sets him off. Like he feels like his movement restrict momentarily before like breaking free, and he goes, "Oh, I see. We have guests. Well, welcome in. You are here at the perfect time. We're just about to get started. Truly a revolution. I'm guessing you're here. I see Trap in the back. Did his investigation of those three engineering idiots finally bring him here? Well, it's no problem. I bought enough time to be able to enact my great plan. At which point he will take a dagger from his bag and he will drag it across his palm, bleeding wildly, which will flow off of his body and onto the ground. As soon as the blood makes contact with the ritual circle, the static in the crystal balls begins to grow to a blare, blotting out the music. It just completely falls to the background as the static blares loudly in y'all's ears. And as this happens, it almost looks like the dust, the smoke, the pixels, the snow is coalescing out of the crystals from the corners of the room and manifesting into a large form in the center, consuming and twisting and reshaping Percival Tusk in the middle of the room. And Brennard, you recognize that this is a similar. This looks similar to how the nail, the claw, dissipated when you removed it from the flesh of the victim. And before your very eyes, the static warps Percival into a horrifying creature, a floating ball with stalks of eyes coming off of it, with one large eye in the center, its mouth agape in horror. Everybody go ahead and roll for initiative.
Hey.
Oh no.
Well then,
Oh, finally.
who could have foreseen this coming?
Oh my god.
I told you he wasn't a normal businessman.
I told you.
He's not a businessman. He's a business man.
Guys, I have so few spell slots.
Dang. This time I was better about it. I got you.
I'm fresh and ready to go. I will say that as they were venturing down into this, the underlayer, Cera did produce her rapier.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's totally fair. And this is what the creature that Percival has shifted into looks like.
Ah!
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh
cute.
no, I don't like
more-
that.
I think I know what this
Slightly
is.
more
Yeah, same.
nightmarish. it's very much like it's kind of like almost difficult to see, like its form is shifting and not 100% physical. It definitely you see like still from these crystal sets in the corner energy trailing towards it. Give me 1 second as I get everybody into the turn order.
And these things right here are the like crystal things, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
4.
But it seems as if energy is coursing from them to him, correct?
Yes, you can see it like classic energy pulsing in the direction of the creature. Yes.
Also, I have one more question. Has it been an hour since the fight with the gangs?
Yes, it has.
Yes,
Okay.
you would have took a short rest.
Oh,
and
that's
did.
right, it was. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure I didn't still have my cannon.
No worries, no worries. Yes. And we gotta roll for Amelia and Mariah. Okay, that's everybody. All right, great. So I see Melu and Ellida, you both rolled the same initiative roll. Which of between the two of you would like to go first?
First, Ellida.
Okay.
Okay. All right, perfect. So that's going to put us at the top of the round with Cera. Cera, you see this horrifying, non-physical mass of tentacles and eyes and horrifying features manifest itself at the center of the room. What do you do?
You know, we're just gonna fire off a chill touch.
Okay.
Let's just see what that does real quick. Although, as it does seem pretty obvious to everyone, Sarah's even gonna say, "Hey, those crystals are probably feeding it."
All right, and a 9 with the chill touch. Did you wanna maybe do a flashback, or do you wanna roll with a 9?
Yeah, we can do a flashback.
Flashback to
Just,
the last time you fought a TV.
The last time we fought an actual fucking TV. No, we're gonna flash back to war.
Oh God.
We're gonna have
Hell
a
yeah.
good old classic war flashback. Just even though Cera wasn't on the front lines, just some of the horrible, like some of the horrifying like beasts that she had seen in some battles, and just like how she's had to protect camps that she was stationed at, and just how you have to be very quick on the draw with magic or anything that you have on you, and you just practice so much to be able to key in on a target and hit it precisely.
Right, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Is there maybe like, because I'm almost thinking like maybe there was like a specific enemy or something that you felled using these tactics or techniques? Do you have any idea what that might have been? Who that might have been?
Her and a small company of people, they, one night, a beholder was just set loose upon their encampment, and that is something that they took down after a very long
I love
fight.
it. Perfect. All right, great. So the 24, so that makes that chill touch instead of a 9, that makes it a 24. That will hit for 4 necrotic damage. However, as it lances in to this nightmarish figure, you notice that the energy is kind of sapped away slightly, and it seems like there's a well of energy that comes from the televisions, and they it seems like the energy of your spell kind of dissipates into them, and you're not sure if you did actually any damage to the nightmare at all.
Okay.
Anything more for Cera?
She's got a bit of a seeking feeling in the pit of her stomach, and she's like, well, that definitely doesn't look good. We need to either destroy or turn these things off.
Awesome. All right, and that makes it Ellida's turn.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Unless.
Nope, you're good.
Is it possible to use shatter on the crystals?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna twin it. I'm gonna twin the shatter.
Yes.
I love that, but unfortunately I don't think you can twin shatter because it is an area of effect spell. For a twin spell, it needs to be single target.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this again.
But you can still absolutely cast shatter onto one of the crystal spheres, and it will in fact do additional damage because shatter is really cool like that, and it does specialized damage against specific things.
Okay, okay. And the other thing I'm gonna do, let me see, that I might do. Let me see if can I use? I do chaos with it. Is that possible? Sorry, I'm like.
Sure. Well, the only thing is that it's a saving throw, but the thing is going to automatically fail because it's an object. So I'm just like, I'm not really sure if there's any use to using Tides of Chaos right now.
Good call.
Because I think you're good to go. Like because it's a saving throw and it's an object, it's gonna automatically fail. If it was a person and you were casting it on somebody, I would say yeah, they'll roll with disadvantage. But because it's an object, it's like it's just gonna get hit.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now that we say it like that.
Raich wants to cause chaos so bad.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Okay, let's go. Oh, wait, that didn't do it. Hold on, I did the wrong thing.
It's okay.
Wait a second. I just forgot how to activate it.
Try the middle section of your stats and abilities on your character sheet. There should be the shatter spell there, like by your chaos point.
Oh, there it is. Goodness. Alright. Well, it's gonna do like 3 times in a row, I bet.
Probably.
Find out.
I am clicking it. I am doing the click on it. Several times. Hold on. Let me try this. Oh, cast at what level? I'm gonna cast it at level 2.
Okay, cool.
That's why it wasn't doing anything. Is I had to pick the level.
Which one are you focusing on?
I'm gonna focus on the one closest. Well, I guess closest to me, so the one close on the left.
It
Gotcha.
might make more sense to focus on the ones farther from us, just
Okay.
because that means that we don't necessarily have to try and pass through enemy space to get to them.
Yep.
Okay, then we'll do that. Yeah, that's perfect. I fucked up my sheet. Hold on a second. I selected that so many damn times, and it's like input.
The sheet's like, you're trying to cast it how many times?
Okay, we're okay.
Yeah, they're all within 60 feet, so yeah.
I broke my sheet. Hold on, we're getting there. It's like getting so many years right now. Oh my god. No, I don't want. I'm gonna refresh. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Did a big freeze. Oh. Okay. Now we should be good. Let me. All right, there we go. And
I'm sorry. I apparently
You
clicked on it.
shatter too.
Everyone wants to cast Shatter. You get a Shatter, and you get a Shatter. Okay. So 17 thunder damage to the back left one.
Yeah.
Great. With 17 thunder damage, it cracks. It with this shockwave of energy crashing over it, it cracks and begins to fragment. But it's still standing, and it's still generating whatever weird eldritch energy to the creature. Anything more for Ellida?
No.
Okay, great. That is going to make it Melu's turn.
Question. Can I cast Sacred Flame on one of the crystals?
Yeah.
Okay. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It automatically fails.
Yeah.
Cool. 7 radiant damage.
Nice. Normally radiant damage wouldn't do anything, but this is a special circumstance, which or wouldn't do half damage rather. But this is a special circumstance. Which one were you focusing? I'm sorry.
I was aiming for the same one that Ellida just hit.
Perfect. All right, yeah. And the radiant blast of energy lances into it, taking advantage of the crack that's already there. It seems like it's near falling apart, but it's still just holding on. Anything more from Melu?
I am going to move over here. That's it.
All right, great. That is going to make it Amelia's turn. Amelia is going to take 2 pot shots with seeing what everybody else is doing. She's going to take 2 shots with a longbow at the cracked crystal ball. 23 hits, 22 hits as well. Or wow, a lot of damage. 14 points of damage. Yeah, she drives both those arrows into the already created crack, causing it to shatter. Boom! And a large burst of magical energy emanates from it. As it does so, the creature in the center shrieks angrily as the tentacle, the tendril of magical energy dissipates. The creature seems more tangible now and more substantial. That makes it Zachariah's turn. Zachariah is going to move up to where Melu is, and he is going to make 2 attacks with his short sword. 7 unfortunately misses. Man, Zachariah sucks. 20 hits though. And he does his short sword damage plus an additional 2d6 because he's got sneak attack too.
Look, he is still shaken up from the
Wait, is he
alleyway
sneak
fight.
attacking the orb? Crystal
The
ball?
orb, yes.
Yeah, never saw
He's
it
taking
coming.
advantage of it. All right, and that's his turn. That's gonna make it Brennard's turn.
Okay. So I would like to go over here. And then I don't know if I can do this as like a free action, bonus action, whatever. Can I, see if I could just manually disable this thing? And 2, can I tell if the augmenter thing that I picked up in the guy's place would work on, like, dismantling it?
I would say that you can definitely on your turn attempt to dismantle it with your action to turn it off.
Okay.
You could also on your turn, as your action, attempt to integrate the new thing into the circuit too.
Okay. I just want to know, like, can I right now, like, identify if that would shut it off if I use that augmenter thing? Does that make sense?
You know that if you shove the augmenter in, there would be an effect, but you don't think it would turn it off necessarily.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take the augmenter, I think, and I'm gonna cast catapult on it
Okay.
and fire it directly at him and see what that does.
Okay. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll to hit.
All right. So catapult. Okay, perfect. It's a dex save on him.
Great. saving throw. Now, dirty 20. So it's like kind of floating there menacingly, and it just like one of its eye tentacles whip towards you as the catapult is coming in, and it just is able to like dip like floatingly out of the way as this thing rockets past. However, it's lined up in such a way that it actually manages to hit the
This one?
the crystal in the back. Yeah, and
Okay.
that does the damage to it. Go
right.
ahead and roll damage with the catapult. And damage.
I know this field.
Nice.
I know it well.
And that's my action. Good news is that casting that gives me back a use of my cannon, at least. So, I'm gonna count.
Yeah.
Alright, and I will end my turn there.
I think with your action economy, it's a bonus action to summon the turret, right? Or is that a full
No, it's a full action. It's a bonus action to
Ah.
have it fire.
I see. All right, cool. Cool. All right, great. So that's Brennard's turn. That now makes it the Ghastly Nightmare's turn. The Nightmare, seeing that a lot of damage is being dealt to the crystals, mainly by Ellida. The thing is going to turn one of its eye stalks towards you, Ellida, and it is going to shoot a wounding ray at you. Make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
You got this.
It's all good, baby.
Unless it's
Oh.
not.
Don't say that.
Okay, so it needs to just be like a Constitution saving throw? What does
Yeah,
it mean with
there
the
should
DC
be
13?
on your character sheet. There should be like a box up to the right of your stats.
Left. Top left.
DC is just what
Yeah,
you
the
have to beat.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, so it just needs to be Constitution. Saving throw. So would it be that, right?
Nice.
Let's go.
Good enough. Yes.
Oh my god! It's helping me today!
So yes, so you're gonna take half of 3d10 damage as this bolt of sickly green energy just lances into you, Ellida. You take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Wait a second. You said necrotic?
That is damage that cannot be healed.
Is it?
Oh, Ellida you might have something though,
I
actually, right,
think I
Ellida?
do have celestial resistance. Let me see.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage.
Let's
Nice, so you
go.
Yeah.
Nice. So you take half of the half. So you take half of 7. You take 3 points.
Hey!
Nice.
Hey.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Great. The nightmare is going to turn another eye. This one at Cera, and it is going to shoot a paralyzing ray at her. Make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw, or be paralyzed for 1 minute.
Yay.
Oh no. I kind of wish I hadn't cast Dispel Magic earlier.
Big oof.
Oh! Yo!
All right. So you fail, Cera. You are paralyzed.
I should
you
have blessed
cannot
you
move.
guys.
Among other things, you cannot move. There's some other nasty things as well associated with paralyzed, but we'll come to that. At the end of your turn, though, you can make another save to try to end the effect, which is convenient because now it's your turn.
Hey, look, it's my turn.
Oh, good.
So go ahead and make that save because I'm pretty sure you can't really do anything else when you're paralyzed.
Sure can. So anyway, now that that's over,
Nice. Perfect. Yes. So you just are you're paralyzed, and then you just immediately like break out of it on your
yeah,
turn.
Sarah just
I
like
love it.
shakes that off, and she's like, "Oh."
That's so good.
Thank God.
All right, fantastic. And that's gonna make it now Elida's turn. Ellida.
Okay, okay, since Sarah's okay. She's not paralyzed. I'm gonna firebolt. Firebolt the back right one.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Alright.
And damage. I think that misses the crystal, because the crystal, I think, is hard enough. But this would be a good time to use Tides of Chaos.
Let's go, Tides of Chaos!
Do it.
Absolutely. Go ahead and reroll.
Fireball.
An 11 will hit. All right, and that deals 1 point of damage. Did you want to? Did you want to reroll that one?
Yeah, can I reroll that?
Yeah, absolutely. You got the you've got your meta magic, Mac Empower, I think.
Yes.
That's another point. So yeah, you can do that too. Why not?
Okay, so what do I roll again?
Just roll another D10 and then give me a D20 roll as well on top of that.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
8. That's better.
Oh. Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
A lot
that's
of it better.
19. Okay. I'm gonna say you surge. Go in and give me a D100.
Oh
Oh
shit.
boy. Here it is.
Fuck.
Chaos, no control.
33. All right, let's see what you get.
Pot plant, pot plant, pot plant.
Chaos, no control.
Ellida, you feel celestial energy begin to pour into your body, and you feel innervated. You feel fantastic. You feel strong. You feel like for the next minute, all of your damage, all your spells that deal damage will deal maximum damage.
Oh, you went
Oh,
full Scarlet Witch.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Okay.
and everybody else can see Ellida has manifested full glowing rainbow wings in this small environment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes!
Okay.
Hell yeah!
All right, awesome. So that's gonna. Is there anything more for Ellida?
No! That's all I got.
Fantastic. All right, Melu, it's your turn.
So, Melu is gonna hit this crystal that they are standing next to with their axe.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll the hit.
I love that for them.
Pulls out a
Thank you,
hand axe
Stephanie.
and hits it real good, apparently.
Just like
You
twirls
can
the
roll-
hand axe and just like.
You can roll the damage for whatever item. Or what you were trying to attack with the hand axe. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I was just attacking with the hand axe. So,
Beautiful. I love it. 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
Excellent. Yes. You slam your hand axe into the weakened spot of this crystal. It's not yet destroyed, but it looks like it's barely being held together. The magic
Perfect.
faintly puttering out towards the beast. Anything more from Melu?
No, I'm gonna stay right here.
Excellent. Alrighty. That is going to make it Amelia's turn. Amelia is going to do the same thing as she did last time. She's going to take 2 longbow shots. This time at the one that Melu was targeting. So 7 is going to miss, 18 will hit, or 10. Wow, 10 points of piercing damage. Amelia is cleaning up. This crystal ball over here explodes as well in a shrapnel of
Yes.
in a spiky confluence of crystals and magical energy as it detonates. I'm gonna go in and put this lovely drawing on there too. Perfect. Excellent. And as the energy like lessens and depletes, the tendril of power disconnects from the ghastly nightmare. And that is going to make it Zachariah's turn. Zachariah is going to run over here where Brennard is at, and he is going to do a double tap on this crystal. 22, 24, both those hit handily. The 24 is going to crit for 16 total damage on this one, which is untouched but is pretty damaged from those couple of blows.
Zachariah heard you
Brennard's
talking
turn.
shit.
Yes. All right, Brennard, what do you do?
Well, already breaking this, so now I feel extra confident about assembling my turret.
Nice. Oh, let me go ahead and slap that on it for you. Here it is. Copy to paste. What type of turret are you summoning?
I am gonna go with the Force Ballista again.
Nice. Perfect. Yes, you slam down your turret and it pops out little legs and begins to take a mounted position. What are you targeting?
I'm gonna go for this back one, since
Great.
Zachariah's
Roll the
got
hit.
this one taken care of. Ooh. So that is a
Ow.
crit for 20
Oh,
damage
shit.
total.
Hey.
God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Boom!
Yeah. I feel like the Force Ballista, like you see it charge up with the arcane energy of the blast, and it just like fires in it. And I feel like it's almost like it either via happenstance or via some confluence of events, the ballista fires just at the moment when the crystal is pulsing with energy right at its peak, and the force lances through it, causing it to explode even greater. And there's like a shockwave of energy that goes out, lancing through the tendril, and it actually lances over to the other crystal as well, and it causes it to explode as well. And
Oh, hell yeah.
just additional damage. Yeah, boom! It all just explodes. The nightmare screams in bloody defiance, but it's tangible now. It's physical. It's no longer floating around. It's no longer insubstantial, floating in the air. You can see it. It's physical now. Which is just so happens to make it the spectator's turn, the nightmare's turn. So the nightmare is going to this time is going to target Brennard with its wounded ray. Go ahead and make me a DC 13 save, Constitution save.
Joke's on you, buddy. I lived in the cogs. I've survived hardship.
Damn, yeah, you
I
make
went
the
through some
save.
hard times, bro.
So you take half of 17, which is going to be 8 total damage. 8 total necrotic damage, as like you turn away from the blast and avoid the majority of it, but it still scorches and cuts into you, the necrotic feeling like leaching into you. Before it's next going to target Ellida with a paralyzing ray. Ellida, make me a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. Oh, you just beat it. Nice. So you feel the beam of energy like lances out from the nightmare, and it like initially like it bounces off against the light that is just flowing off of you, the rainbow from the wings, and it just deflects and goes into the ground, completely missing you. And that's gonna make it Cera's turn.
Cera is going to just immediately dart past Ellida up here to the ugly boy. Yeah, right there. And she is going to just we're gonna do a little stabby.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Go in and roll the hit. An 11 unfortunately will miss, as it dips to the side as your blade comes in at it, just missing. Anything more?
No, that'll be it.
Fantastic. Alrighty. Next is going to be Ellida. Ellida, you are glowing, innervated with a magical celestial energy. What do you do?
I was looking at using a shatter once again,
Okay.
but my concern is that Cera is right there.
Yeah, but Shadow has a point of has a point of origin, so as long as Sarah's not within that 10-foot radius of the point of origin, it's fine.
So place it right behind the beholder.
Okay, you got it. 'Cause that's my strongest thing, so I'm gonna do that again. 'Cause I want
Great.
ultimate destruction.
Absolutely. Go. So I guess that's a save for the nightmare.
Yeah.
Great. It's a con save, right?
Hold on a second. There we go. They.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. 16 on the save. I believe your save is 14, right, Ellida?
Like my.
Yeah. Yes, your spell save DC is 14. So he makes the save. However, he's still going to take half of maximized 3d8. So that is half of 24. So he still takes 12 points of damage, just brunt as this force lances into him.
Cool.
Boom.
Awesome.
Perfect. Anything more for Ellida?
No.
Excellent. All right, that's gonna make him Melu's turn.
I am going to cast Fairy Fire
Nice.
because I don't have to use a spell slot for it. But
Nice.
I'm gonna try and not get Cera in it, so just like right on top of him, and so it's a dex.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, like what Ellida did for
Yes.
for the
Oh.
shatter, absolutely. The nightmare also is able to just dodge to the side of this burst of fairy fire as it goes off, avoiding it. Anything more from Melu?
I think that's all I got because it's my action.
Okay. Amelia is, instead of firing off arrows, she's actually going to come over to Zachariah's side. Y'all didn't notice, but when the crystal went off, Zachariah got hit in the blast a little bit, and he's like down and bleeding on the ground. And she's going to go over and begin to tend to his wounds a little bit as he does so. And that's what's going to happen there. Brennard, it's your turn.
Okay. So let's start off with the cannon, because unfortunately that's an 8 to hit.
Yes, an 8 will not hit.
Alright. And then think about what I want to actually do for my action. I think I'm gonna pull out my crossbow and take a shot with that myself.
Absolutely, go on and roll the hit.
Bam, so that's a
21
21 for 10 damage.
Damn. Nice, yeah.
The
The
looks
bolt
do.
lances in,
Mm-hmm.
hitting its target handily. You take off one of its eye stalks as you do so, and it looks pretty bloodied at this point. Anything more?
I think that's all for me.
All right. That is going to make it the spectator's turn. The nightmare. The first, it is going to shoot again 2 eye rays. The first one of a wounding ray. This one at Cera, DC 13.
Constitution.
Constitution. Yes. Apologies.
Bloop.
20 is, wow, easy save. You take 7 points of damage from the blast. That's already halved. And then the next one is going to shoot a paralyzing ray. This one at Brennard.
All right.
You see 13 Constitution save.
Yeah, Brennard's just like,
And you make this
yeah,
save and or not.
you ever mind for 8
Handle.
hours straight next to magma? I can handle this.
Absolutely. All right, amazing. And that puts us back at the top of the round with Cera.
You know what? We're gonna go for another stabby.
Yeah, absolutely. A 14 will hit. Go in and roll damage.
7. It's right there.
7 points of damage. Yeah, absolutely. And you feel like maybe if your blade wasn't as magical as it was, you might not do as much damage to it. But the magic of the blade slices cleanly into this nightmarish creature's flesh. Anything more for Cera?
She is going to let's do a little 5-foot steppy this way, to give her compatriots a clearer shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, Ellida.
Firebolt 5.
Absolutely, go ahead and roll the hit. A 14 will hit, dealing maximized 10 damage, which is just enough as the fire lances in. Go ahead and describe your kill.
Nice.
So, Ellida, in all of her rainbow giant angel Asmar might, Um, as soon as Cera takes a step to the side, just takes an opportunity to push forward strongly, like an entire this rainbowy flame that just goes right through the monster.
Nice. Absolutely. Yes. And just rending it in twain. And like it dissipates for a moment. And in the interior, you can see Percival Tusk, his physical form, but he gets cut in half as well as from Ellida's sweeping through them. And he just comes to part at the seams and dies. And that's combat, everybody. Good job.
Yay.
Excellent. All right. Fantastic. You did it. Everybody, Amelia tends to Zachariah, who promptly gets up, and he looks around the room and he goes, "Well, I'm glad I reached out to Zed. You all certainly got the job done, didn't you?"
Yeah, I'd say so.
I guess so. How are we going to explain this to the authorities? Are we just going to
That's
leave?
not our job.
Well, I mean,
Don't worry,
these
I'll
two
handle
are
the
kind of
authorities. We'll-
authorities, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
We've got Paul. We'll explain it all away. We've got this, and he'll show the missive about. He'll show the hit contract, and he'll say should probably be more than enough, and then all this, and then he'll gesture to the fucking room and be like, there was obviously something more going on. You know, megalomaniac types like this, they always keep a journal or something. You know, we'll do a look see. I'm sure we'll just keep your eye out for the papers, and I'm sure we'll be in front page tomorrow. Absolutely.
I was going to say, speaking of a journal, Sarah's going to just go ahead and dismiss her rapier to the Shadow Realm, but I wanted to do a quick perception around the room to see if she saw anything of interest in there.
Sure, give me a perception roll.
Whack.
And I would say that probably caught up in the heat of battle and the low darkness, the low light of the room, you maybe don't see anything, but you are also the closest to Percival's body. And so I'm gonna say with the 10, you notice like around his neck is a necklace.
She's just gonna like kneel in for a closer look at this necklace. Is there anything significant about it?
It definitely looks magical.
Take it.
She gonna take it.
Absolutely.
We can
And
study
Zachariah
this
will
later.
not say anything. Yes, and Zachariah will not say anything as he sees you loot the body, knowing that is honor amongst adventurers. And Zachariah will say, "Well, I feel that I owe you all a debt now. There was no way I would have been able to handle this with just me and Amelia." And Amelia will elbow him in the side, and he'll say, "Okay, maybe we could have handled it, but I appreciate the backup nonetheless, and I feel like y'all have definitely earned the intel about earned this intel that I promised." And he will tell you the location of the next dragon idol, which I think we should leave for next week or next time.
Woo!
Woo.
Ooh, buddy.
No, then we'll do like a smash cut. So in the future, there's like a fucking sweet scene of everybody wearing like dressed up to the fucking nines. Y'all are wearing like all y'all are wearing your killer outfits, all with cool sunglasses on, and y'all are walking in to what can only be described as a casino. And as y'all are like kind of strutting. And next time on Exploits of the Golden Shadows, episode 3, Mission Improbable.
Oh God.
Nice.
Everybody come
Love
up
it.
with outfits. That's the homework
Yes.
assignment.
Oh, finally, my element.
Yeah, so that's your homework for next week. Come up with a cool heist outfit.
Wonderful.
Alrighty, but that was this week's episode. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming on out. I super appreciate it. Thanks again to my lovely players for being here. Let's go around one more time, just so that way I can give my folks a chance to promote themselves. Let's do Domino. Why don't you go first?
Hello, I am Domino. You can call me just Dom or Domino. You catch me at twitch.tv/DominoRBG, occasionally playing games, or catch me at twitter.com/DominoRBG for just general nonsense.
Perfect. Next, let's have Galaxy.
Again, I'm Just Galaxy on YouTube. You can find most of my content on there. And then I also make TikToks almost pretty much daily at this point at Galaxiebot. And Galaxy is always spelled with an IE for me.
Fantastic. Raichkyu.
Hi, I'm Raichkyu. You can find me at twitch.tv/Raichkyu, doing a variety games, everything from Sims to The Forest to Dark Souls. And you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Raichkyu and TikTok under Raichkyu if you want to see videos of my dog.
Perfect. And last but certainly not least, Mystrich.
Hello, I'm Mystrich. I stream over on my own channel at twitch.tv/Mystrich. Pretty soon, I do variety games over there. I also talk a lot about TTRPGs, and pretty soon, probably next week or the week after, my friend Werewolf and I will be restarting our podcasty type show where we talk about different topics in tabletop RPGs, whether that be rule systems, ways to run the games, all sorts of stuff like that. So check us out.
Oh man, I'm so excited for that. That was always such a good and compelling show. I'm looking forward to the return. Absolutely. But yeah, thanks again, everybody.
I'll even go a step further. I'll do the big reveal here. Drum roll. So episode 1 of our new season is going to be about co-GMing and co-running games.
Ooh.
That's really cool. Neat. I've always thought that co-GMing potentially could be really, really cool. Like that's so neat. That's gonna be a great topic. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks again. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you drop a follow, so that way you can know when we go live next time for our excellent Dungeons and Dragons adventure. If you want to get in on the discussion, come and join the Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. We've got some really cool. We get some really cool stuff going on. And if you want to play D&D, I'm starting up a West Marches style games. Pick up and play. You don't even need to make a commitment, which I always thought was the biggest deal with D&D. But yeah, thanks again. I just want to say thanks again, everybody. Let me just do a quick shout out to all those. We got a raid of 25 people that came in, which was unbelievable. Thank you, the Compound, for the raid. A Chonkin raid. Thank you.
So the Compound
Fortress
is actually so what happened was that they're a network of tabletop RPG shows that I found a group that's local to me that streams, and they recently moved on to the Compound. So I believe that's why they raided us, which is super cool. I live in a tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
That's so cool. I made sure to drop them a follow. I can't wait to see what they got going on. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and send a nice raid on over to GM Hina, who is who's just an awesome tabletop streamer as well. I'm doing Timbo the Wizard. I'm doing something with that I can't talk out about just yet, but it's in the cards. It's on the table. That's gonna be real cool. Yeah, thanks again, everybody. This was so much fun. We'll be live again 2 weeks from now with episode 3, Mission Improbable, and I hope to see you there. But until then, stay magical, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.